make this the beginning of the episode. I want to shame some fucking ASMR freaks.
Oh, we're shaming people now? All right. Welcome to I have less shame than you. There we go.
The fucking okay, listen. I do experience ASMR, but it's more that some sounds, it's not like, ooh, I get the little tinglies. I do get that. What it more is there specific sounds that literally fucking knock me out.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, the thing that I watch that knocks me out is people getting haircuts or shaves.
Whoa.
And people fixing watches.
I could see that. I really like watching people repair stuff like that. Is really, I mean, it doesn't like put me, I don't fall asleep to that stuff ever, but it does relax me to the point where like I'm
Chris,
getting ready to go to bed.
You do not understand. I will be at my office looking at TikTok, and there's a couple of those I will follow, and there's this guy from China who fixes watches, and there's another one I follow that's like this dude he's a barber from like Italy, and if one of those comes on and I watch it, I will fall asleep in my chair. It does not fucking matter if I'm tired or not. Like, it's just something about it just goes, oh, I gotta go to sleep now.
It's that you're just browsing through Instagram and then all of a sudden there's like someone just getting a haircut and you're like, oh no, and you're just out.
Yeah. If I focus on it, yes. If I focus on it.
That's awesome.
That being said,
I wish I had that power.
The fuckers who like get really close to their mics and talk like this and do like you can hear my
we're gonna talk about things today. We're gonna do video games.
This shit is disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't get that. So you make fun of that all you want, but at the same point, I do get the people that watch ASMR videos to relax. It's just that those ones where it's like a lady talking and rubbing her fingers, I think those are for freaks.
I mean, I think that's probably fair. I don't know. I wouldn't call them freaks, but I would say I don't get it. I don't know. I'm more of a tactile person. I like feelings and touch. Like, I want to be comfy. Like, whenever I'm going to bed, this is welcome to the Sleepcast.
It hasn't started yet.
Yeah, we are like I like to be as comfy as possible, and I like to just be like wrapped up in a blanket. Like, I'll like roll myself into like a burrito when I'm like sleeping. Like, when it comes to sound, it's more of just I like rain, and which oh my god, I tell you, where I'm living now is rain central, and I I don't know where that place is. I don't know what you're talking about.
I get a lot of rain in Medford, Oregon, where I live, and you live of me. Can I say that?
I don't know about that one. That might give it away too. That might.
Do you think I'm too nonchalant with giving out my exact town?
No, but I would say that you are braver than some.
Well, also, like, okay, you tell me if we leave this part in, but like
well, see, here's the thing: is I think you've had like a very this is an interesting dynamic, because you've had a personal. Or you've had a public life while doing everything that you've done online, and you've always been like, that's been part of your identity, right? Whereas me, I'm a nobody. Nobody knows who I am.
I'm a nobody. Let's be honest. I'm a nobody too.
I don't know about that one. I think you got more clout than you realize.
I don't have very much clout. I do keep getting recognized more and more when we go to things. When we were at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, remember there was that dude when we were in the Burger Village, just like, whoa, Dr. Ryan. I was like, yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, he was chill. He was cool.
He was chill.
But yeah, I think that's, I mean, even if it's like a small amount or whatever, it's like you do have you've always been very like, you've owned it, right?
I don't care. What are people no one's gonna show up and be like, "Whoa, fuck you."
I think it's when you have that negative interaction, that's when things will start to change. Because like when I was streaming in Japan, like I had people trying to figure out where I was.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and then kind of make weird comments and say like, well, I'm gonna like mail you this, and then you're gonna get fucking in trouble for like X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't know why you're trying to just ruin something like cool. Like it's weird, right?
Hold on, I just thought of something. Maybe let's not talk about this because this, like, maybe the people that hate me have never thought about doing this, and now we're giving them the idea.
Yeah, exactly. See, that it's when you start to think about it, you're like, oh no, like maybe I think there's a certain acceptable level of being like, I live in this state, and then like that's great, but like I mean, Frank, like he's very open about just like I'll just give you my address, and I'm like, you are
the one time
brave.
that anything like that ever happened to me is when I accidentally doxed myself on a stream. Our friend fucking DDB secretly door dashed a blizzard to me, and then had the door dasher not knock on my door, so I just randomly opened up my door later, and there was just a DQ blizzard on my patio on my fucking barbecue, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't know about that for a year. Hey, if you're listening to this, DDB, thank you. Also, fuck you. Anyway,
it can be scary.
Yeah, no, it's great. That night I had more blizzards than you, and guess what? I got more trophies. And nope, that's not what it's called. That was a terrible episode.
You got to figure out the name of the show.
I'm losing it. At the beginning, it was really easy to come up nonchalantly, and now I feel like I'm forcing them. But if I don't say it, the episode doesn't start.
What episode? What show?
This episode of this show.
What show?
You're trying to force it. See? No, I know what you're doing. I want to talk about video games. Can we just start the episode? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's just start.
Okay, let's start this episode. This episode of I Have More Trophies Than You. Welcome, friends, to I Have More Trophies Than You. This is a video game podcast about video games and the different ways that people play them. I am your host, Dr. Ryan, currently the 68th best gamer in all of North America. That number's dropping because I'm not playing bullshit anymore. I played some bullshit. We'll talk about it later.
Hey, and I'm your kind of cold, do wish it were a little bit warmer today host. Chris, how are you doing?
Chris, the new Oregonian.
I don't know about that one.
Can we say new West Coaster?
Yes. I'm very. It's funny if you come to my stream. You're like, oh.
Twitch.tv/
yes, twitch.tv/BlazeTK, BLAZETK. Come through. I've been streaming normally. I've got back. We're back on the horse. At least three streams a week.
Let me ask you this. This is my biggest question.
Yes.
How have you been adjusting to Pacific time?
I think I've adjusted. I think I've gotten there. It was weird at first because it would get to 11 o'clock at night and I was just dead tired, and then it was like, oh, because my body thinks it's like 2 a.m. and it's like, no, it's not that. But I think I've fully adjusted to West Coast time now to the point where I'm staying up to like 2 a.m. now. And
yeah, but have you gotten to the point yet? Now, this is as a West Coaster with friends all over the country. Mm-hmm. Have you gotten to that point where you're like, yo, it's early, let's stay up, and all your friends are like, what are you talking about? It's 2 o'clock in the morning because they're 3 hours ahead of you?
Yeah, that's actually kind of been the thing lately. Is which I will say it is kind of nice because I feel like I'm more active at the evening level, like 7 o'clock or something, which is like 10 for all of our friends, and like that's when they're getting into the swing of things. So it's like I'm happy about that because then it's like I do feel like I get like enough time to hang out with people. But once it does start getting close to midnight, that's whenever I really kick into gear and I'm awake and I want to do something, and everyone else is like, it's 3 a.m. You're fucking crazy.
Well, guess what, buddy? Now I'm in the same time zone as you, and we're going to start playing that Final Fantasy 14, and I'm going to be up and we're going to get those platinums, baby.
That's what needs to happen. Honestly, that's that's the game I've kind of been going to lately. It's just because it's easy. It's something I can commit no time to and all the time to if I need to. And I've been playing a bit of it. I completed yet another a Realm Reborn relic weapon. And
you gotta hold up on those because, like, I gotta do all those fates in A Realm Reborn, and I figured doing that would be the best way to do it, and leveling up some character classes. So, like, you gotta have some. You're gonna run out of shit to do, and you're gonna get bored, but you're gonna have to do it with me because you're legally obliged.
I've started hitting that wall of like leveling stuff. Is that I'm leveling a Gunbreaker right now, which is the second tank that I've leveled to 90 or whatever. And so I'll have Dark Knight and Paladin to do. I've got Astrologian's the only healer I need left, and then I just need Samurai and Dragoon. And I've leveled everything to 90. And I'm like, I need to start getting these fates done because then I can actually level some of these classes. So.
Listen, I don't care about leveling classes. I just care about doing fates. And if I can use doing leveling is what's going to do it, then that's fine. I could just do it at no level and be fine. Yeah. We're definitely doing Blue Mage together, though, because that's dumb and I want to do it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, God, I want to do Blue Mage so bad right now.
I give you this solemn promise and oath.
Uh-huh.
We got a couple video games coming up that are coming out that I have to do, not only for the show, but they're like, the new God of War and all that. Within at least, hopefully starting next month, but if not, by January, I would like to do at least 2 to 3 nights a week dedicated playing with you. So that will happen. We'll have a dedicated Final Fantasy XIV Platinum Journey segment for next year, because the goal is to have both platinums by the end of next year, and so that'll be a thing for 2023. Will be the Final Fantasy Platinum Minute, where we talk about what we did.
Right as you get that platinum, they'll be announcing the expansion, and then you'll have a whole another set.
Well, no, there won't be a platinum. Their expansions are only DLC trophies, so it's not that hard. Okay,
but still, more trophies are good.
One other thing I wanted to bring up before we get into video games and everything.
Yeah.
My beloved Padres did lose.
They did.
But I wanted to note that last episode for the Japanese World Series, what do they call it?
The Nippon Championships, the Japan Championships.
For the Japan Championships, you were all in on the Swallows. I took the underdog, the Oryx Buffaloes. Who happened to win that?
Well, in a kind of dramatic fashion, the Swallows started strong. They ended up tying game 2, and then the Buffaloes started to run and ended the series in game 7 with a record of 4-2-1. The Buffaloes are the new Japan Championships.
Let's go, baby! They were my team from the start. They were always my team. I always supported them and no one else.
The Oryx.
I'm an Oryx. What does Oryx do again? They don't do anything terrible, do they?
No. If I remember correctly, they do car stuff, like insurance, I think, or something like that, right?
Insurance.
I feel like I looked this up during an episode.
I hate car insurance companies. They're always trying to fucking screw me over and pay as little as possible.
They're a financial company.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, they're
at least I only picked the base stars because DNA makes video games.
Yeah, which is cool. Like I really like that DNA does own that team. Although it is.
That's why I like the Mariners.
Well, I mean, Yakult is also a Korean company, I think, right?
It's why I liked the Mariners a lot when I was a kid. I like the Padres and the Mariners because I was in San Diego, and the Mariners because Nintendo owned the Mariners. So there was always a lot of Nintendo shit.
Right. They need to start that partnership back up. I would really like that.
Who owns the Mariners now?
Oh, I have.
Isn't it like some fucking? It's probably some Microsoft fucker, right?
It would have to be, right? I mean,
probably.
You're in Seattle. Those are that's the company there. Is
why is it okay?
Microsoft.
Sony should buy one of the Japanese baseball teams, and then I'd support that.
That would be wild. Like the Sony it'd be the Sony Hawks.
Dude, I'd be all in on being a Sony. The Sony Hawks would be the best. Where's Sony located? Are they in Tokyo though?
Yeah. They would probably want a Tokyo team. And they
what's Hanshin make?
Hanshin,
No, you don't want to buy the Tigers. The Tigers suck. I don't.
They got the Curse of the Colonel though.
Yeah, so fuck them.
Hanshin's trains.
Trains?
Yeah, they're a rail company.
Sony should just buy a team and then rename the team from whatever mascot they are to the fucking Bandicoots. No, they don't own them anymore. The Sony big monsters. I don't know.
Well,
anyway,
the Lombaxes, don't they own?
yeah, there's so many Lombaxes.
Be awesome.
That'd be terrible.
They could have a little Ratchet cosplay, like the little mascot that runs around. Have a little Clank on his back.
All the Bat Boys have to come out as Clank.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
No, that'd be terrible.
See, that's what DNA needs to do. Is they really need to lean into like
the video game stuff.
Well, I mean, I guess the little hamster dude he's really cute, but
yeah, it reminds me of Hantaro,
Harry Hawk.
Now that baseball's over, and you've been playing Final Fantasy 14, what else have you been playing?
Fucking nothing.
Really? I want to give you the chance because I'm going to talk a bunch. So,
here's the thing. I went to a barcade the other day.
It's called Ground Control.
It can't. You can't do this to me.
Actually, I think we can because we want them to. What if they sponsor us?
Ground Control sponsor us, please. That would be tight, right?
Yeah,
I'd be down.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying where you live,
right?
But you went to a bar in downtown Portland called Ground Control.
Well, I mean, now that you say that I went,
you could have. You didn't try. You traveled there.
Yeah, I could be on vacation. You don't know.
I'll say this. How about this? Can we say this? Can we say you do not live in Portland?
I mean,
it's true.
Technically,
I do
not live in Portland.
You do not live in Portland, so it's okay to say that you went to Portland things. So you went to Ground Control.
I was in Portland recently.
What'd you think of Ground Control? Because I used to go to Ground Control all the time when I lived in Portland when I went to school 10 years ago. So much, in fact, that a buddy of mine was their general manager, and I used to host monthly trivia nights there.
That's really neat. Like, I love that. It seemed like they had a steady stream of like events and things to get people into the bar, which I deeply appreciate. Always love a good event coordinator or whoever can. I
haven't been there in years. I know that since I lived there, they've like expanded. Now they're in like 2 buildings right next to each other. The place is even bigger. And when I went, it was just the one. But Ground Control was like a mainstay of me and my friend group.
It's a cool little bar. I mean, it wasn't very packed, which I appreciated. I think some of the games I played like controlled fine and everything, and then some games it was like this machine needs some love, you know. I wish I could get in here and actually just repair this like stick because it really needs some love because it kind of. I was playing the Gauntlet Dark Legacy machine.
Oh, a great machine.
So good. It's such a great game too, and it's just like, but one of the control sticks is all fucked up, and it's just like, so you can play with like 3 people, and you all have to stand very close together because that one stick on the end isn't going to work, and it's just like kind of a bummer. But I will say they do have a DDR Extreme machine, which really feels like somebody's been keeping up with and keeping clean and nice because I personally know how hard it is to upkeep those kind of machines. Back in the day, playing in the Groove and DDR with my friend, we worked out a deal with like the local arcade that we would repair the machine if they let us upload.
Wait, hold on. Mm-hmm. Shut up. Is this true?
Yeah.
No. Is Aaron Carter dead?
Yeah. This
is real?
Yeah. That happened like within the last couple hours.
I just saw this now.
Yeah.
Oh, like I don't give a shit about Aaron Carter, but that's too bad.
Yeah, I mean,
looks like Shaq won in the end.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, but yeah, I will say
the slam and the jam on himself in that bathtub.
I think it was the pool, but no.
Well, you might want to delete that.
No, yeah, like I really appreciated that their DDR machine was clean, especially being an old Extreme. But goddamn, am I out of shape? Because holy shit, I tried so hard, and it's just out of reach for me right now. I think I need to get some good cardio in my life because I felt awful after I played it. Like there was a good 20 minutes where I was just like, oh my god, what are my life choices to that led me down this road to not be able to play like a simple 8-footer on an extreme machine. So I did miss that. I also played on a Metal Slug machine. Metal Slug, fucking great game. That was signed by Keith Apicary himself. Yeah,
I was at that show when he did that.
Yeah. That's cool.
He signed a shirt and he did a bunch of songs in the middle of Ground Control, and it was so much fun. Shouts out Keith Apicary. Hey, really quick, I just tweeted this out. You tell me if this is too much. I just put Shaq wins again.
No, that's fine.
Do you think? Am I getting in trouble?
No.
Okay.
I almost did the same thing. I was so close to tweeting something like that, and I just didn't. I was gonna tweet. It's Aaron's party. Time to come get it, and then just be like, oh no.
Oh no.
Like, wait, where's the party? Yeah. You guys are catching us in a raw moment. Deep-seated Aaron Carter fan, Ryan here is distraught and broken up.
No, you delete that. How dare you?
No, other than that, what else?
Did you really just try to call me an Aaron Carter fan?
You almost let it slide, right?
All right. Chris's phone number is 1.
You can't just read digits like that out. Those might not even be real numbers. I think you made some of those numbers up even.
Not real numbers. Should I talk about what should you hit the platinum report? You hit the buzzer.
Should I?
Yeah, I think you should.
Did you? Are you sure? Platinums are a serious topic around here.
Hit the alarm.
Hit the alarm?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna hit the alarm right now.
Do it. All right. Welcome to the Platinum Report. I would like to announce that I have gotten 14 new platinums since last episode.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good amount considering I haven't really been playing. Like, there's a little bit of bullshit in here, but I think it's acceptable bullshit. It's nothing like the quickest platinum. Okay, except for 3, which I'll explain. The quickest platinum I got in the last couple days was like 2 hours.
Okay. That still feels like at least a bit of a commitment because that's the length of a movie, right?
Yeah. So the really nice thing about PSN profiles is I've decided I'm over the jumping burger shit. Unless I need I'm currently at 1,636 platinums. Little behind the scenes, little inside baseball. This episode, of course, will be coming out on
Monday.
Today is Monday the 7th. It's actually Saturday the 5th. And on Wednesday the 9th, the new God of War comes out. I would like that to be my milestone 1,650th platinum. So nice. What is that?
So you're cleaning up to get there right now.
I would need 13 more platinums to get there. And so I'm going to keep playing these kind of games. But when I get to the point, if I need like 3 or 4 more, I will dip into buying a couple $1, 2-second bullshit ones.
Right.
I feel like that's fine. I'm not playing 50 of them a day. I think like 1 or 2 every once in a while just to plug holes is acceptable.
Yeah, I think that's the way you should do it, because then at least I don't know, you're celebrating the big games that you play, right?
Since then, I have played 1 big game and 1 big DLC, and then a bunch of tinier things. So let me go over. I'll say that the first 4 of these are kind of shitty easy games, but it's because they were all played while I was away on at my grandma's memorial in San Diego. So it's like things I played on the plane or played, at night on like my Vita. Or I think I talked last time I got this Backbone. Did I tell you about this?
Wait a minute. Actually, you know what? Before we get into this, can we get into something real quick because you just mentioned you were out of town, right?
Yes.
I happened to just wander into a stream real quick on a night where you were ranking Halloween candies.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with where you guys place the caramel apple into C.
I want to
the caramel apple.
Hold on, shut up. The point of this was not how good are they. It's how excited would you be to get one on Halloween. That was the ranking.
So excited.
Now here's my reasoning for why I ranked it low. If I was a kid and I was given a caramel apple, my mom would have said absolutely not and thrown it in the trash.
Why?
Because but it's made by somebody, and that when I was a kid, that was the whole. They put something in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like anything that wasn't factory sealed would be taken away and thrown.
Okay.
So that was my I said rank it even lower.
Right.
I said D, which is the lowest you could get before egg this house, which is when you're mad at it. I would rank that at D personally, because if I had gotten that as a kid, I would have gone like, oh, I'm never going to get to keep this.
Right.
This is trash. Because my mom will not let me eat something that somebody just made.
You know what?
So
shout outs to your mom for probably looking out for you and making you feel that way. Because
I can't say this enough. I love my mom and dad so fucking much. They are two of my closest friends. I work, I used to work with my dad. He's retired. I still work with my mom. She's my assistant at my chiropractic office.
That word. That's dangerous, man. You can't just drop that R word like that on people. You know?
What?
It's a joke about the word retired.
Yeah,
it's a good joke.
No, it's a bad joke. Anyway, so I love my parents a lot. They're great. I know some people don't have the best relationship with their parents. I feel really bad, but I fucking love my parents, and we're so close. So shouts out my mom. I love her so much. Anyway, that is why I ranked the caramel apple low, is just because my mom would have been like, absolutely fucking not. This is going in the trash.
Okay. That makes sense. I'll give you the pass there.
If the ranking was how good are they, caramel apple would have been a little bit higher. I don't like a whole caramel apple, though, because I feel like you just eat the outside and then you just have an apple. And usually they use Granny Smith apples, and those are kind of dry. What I like is cutting an apple into slices and then dipping that whole thing into caramel, because it's more caramel per apple slice.
Right.
But the real best is those caramel apple lollipops.
Ooh, yeah, those are really good. I'll give you that. You know what? Hey, there was one time I got this was a caramel apple, but it was a caramel apple. So like, take the apple, dip it in caramel, right? And that's great. And then from there, you let the caramel sit for a second so that it can kind of hold form. And then they dipped it into chocolate afterwards. And then they let the chocolate harden a little bit around it. And then they dipped it into white chocolate. Or, well, no, they didn't dip it into white chocolate. But they poured white chocolate over it so it dripped more around it.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I understand.
Then crushed up Oreos over it. And it was...
I mean, yeah, that sounds great.
That was the greatest shit ever.
But, anyway, this is the platinum report.
Let's get into the platinum report.
I wanted to talk... I didn't really talk about this. This is a really quick review. I had a gift card for Best Buy, so I got the Backbone. This is an officially licensed PlayStation thing, but it does for everything. But basically, you put your iPhone in it, and it's a controller that used for remote play. It's got like the R1, the R2, all the buttons. It's really good. The only downside to it is that it doesn't have a start button, and it doesn't have the trackpad button. So that's the only times you have to touch the screen. And sometimes it's a little finicky. But it's been nice for remote play, like either at my office or when I was away, for just like playing games on my PlayStation handheld. It's basically like a new Vita to me.
Oh geez,
so that's cool.
I've had a couple friends pick those up in the last month, so
they're about $100. I got mine, like I said, for a little bit cheaper, but I like it. It's nice to have. It's a fun little toy.
Yeah,
it's not anything I would say you require, but okay. Anyway, so here's the platinums that I got. First one, Super Destronaut DX Intruders Edition. That's basically it was on the Vita, and this was a physical only that came out from those limited edition East Asia softs. So this one, it's really funny. This platinum's only about an hour long. It's basically just Space Invaders. But that should I tell you how much I paid, or is that a bullshit move?
No, tell me.
It's $175.
Ooh,
it's worth it because it's gonna be worth more later. Then I played Thunder Flash, which was a little like basically Contra on the PS4 and PS5, but I played those on my Backbone while I was down there.
Okay, sick.
I also played Energy Invasion on the Vita, and that was a very shitty brick breaker because the bricks don't break the ball never breaks the bricks. You launch the ball, and then you have to flick the right stick to throw out little like bullets that break the bricks.
Oh, weird.
It sucks. I don't suggest it.
It doesn't sound fun.
Next thing, okay, so I played a little bit more of Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed.
Okay.
It's fine. It's got a So actually, the platinum is unattainable because one of the trophies is glitched, and it doesn't look like they're going to fix it. So it just means that it's a broken bullshit game that you shouldn't buy. I got it for free from Frank. Thank you, Frank. So I don't mind playing it a couple times with people, but I'm never going to be looking for the trophies. I've made peace with that, and I moved on. I platinumed the new game Gotham Knights. When we're all done, I'd like to talk about that. I also got all the trophies in the new Winter's Expansion DLC in Resident Evil Village. When we're done, I'd like to talk about that.
Totally.
Next 3, I got 3 platinums in the same game. There is a game that I think I talked about in an early episode during a platinum report. It's very, very shitty called Spectre Woods. It is made by this fucking freak somewhere in the UK who's made other games we've talked about on here, such as
monster of a person.
This fucking monster who's made games like Lady in a Leotard with a Gun, Violet Guidi, Newtonian Virgin. Basically, somebody got like really shitty Unity and makes these games that look like hell.
Right.
But the game was 10 cents.
Okay, right.
And it platinumed in about 3 minutes. The thing is, do you remember I told you I ran out of European money?
Yes.
I actually had like 34 quid left, 34 cents. And so it was 10 cents. So I was like, all right, I'll buy the European versions and I'll buy the PS5 version because I already done the PS4 version because they had some one-day ultimate sale on a bunch of shit.
And then now you're like completely depleted.
Actually, I think I have 14 cents left.
Oh, we got to find a 14-cent game.
I'll wait till the next time they do one of these sales. It's actually funny. So there's a game on sale right now that's the Destroy All Humans multiplayer mode. It's on sale for 2 cents. But in Europe, it's 20 cents. And so I was 6 cents short.
Oh, shit.
I feel like I'll still go back one day because eventually some game will come out that I really like that I'll want to get like the European version of so whatever, but I'm done buying shitty games for now. So I got Spectre Woods 3 times, once on PS5 in America, once on PS4 in Europe, and once on PS5 in Europe. I played another chapter of The Walking Dead, so I'm at 3 out of 5 chapters on that. I'm taking my time with that. That's the Japanese Walking Dead on PS3. Just play it every once in a while. I'll definitely probably platinum that before next episode.
Nice.
I platinumed What Remains of Edith Finch, the PS5 version, which was basically just the same exact game, but they added 2 new trophies to give it a platinum. One that was already in the Xbox version, and then one for replaying a chapter, but there's already a trophy for replaying a specific chapter, so you just got both of those at the same time. Did you ever play What Remains of Edith Finch?
No, I was going to ask you, that's like a walking simulator?
It is a walking simulator, but I'll say this. Mm-hmm. It's about an hour and a half long. It is the only walking simulator that I would say you should play.
I've heard really good things about it.
It's got a really interesting story. It's got some really good writing, and it's got some really cool mechanics in a couple of these. Basically, the idea is you're this girl, Edith Finch, going through her old family's house, and there's a curse on the family, and everybody dies prematurely, and so you're going back and seeing how everyone in your family tree bit it. Every level is like watching them die, and everyone has like different mechanics. So it was free on PS4 like a year and a half ago, and that one didn't have a platinum, but I heard enough about it that I played it anyway.
Right.
And then they did this PS5 version, and they didn't give it free. Like, if you can normally upgrade, they're like, we want $20.
Oh wow.
We're like, really? Fucking no. And then like a month later, like, fuck it. If you had on PS4, I think they worked something out with Sony, so they're gonna get paid off Sony.
Oh, okay.
So whatever. If you can play it for free, I recommend it. I would not pay $20 for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I owned that game through like some kind of Humble Bundle or something.
Probably. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe it's...
If you're not going for trophies, I bet you can even get it a little faster. So you sit down and play it about an hour. It's fun. I played another one of these little kind of walking... It's more of it was a really easy platformer with very nice visuals called HOA, H-O-A.
Okay.
I got this on sale at GameStop, had like a 50% off clearance sale. I got this for $10 for PS5, not PS4. There's a PS4 version I could find out there if I want to do it again. It was only like 2 hours. It's not too bad. It's basically just you're this little sprite going through nature and getting little butterflies. Not very. There's only one complicated part. Other than that, it's just kind of jumping around and doing whatever.
Oh, right on.
Then I got 2 platinums in the same game. This game sucks shit. It's called Chicken Police.
I saw you playing that this morning, and I was like, "What the fuck is Chicken Police?"
It's a point and click detective adventure where everybody is people with. It's like a noir mystery game where all the people have animal heads.
Okay.
And it's boring and it sucks shit. And there's a part where you have to do a shooting range, and the controls suck. And the PS4 and the PS5, they changed shit to make the PS5 version longer. The reason the game itself is actually not that bad. The reason I'm mad is, so I played the PS4 version, and I found a guide from this lady from England who did the guide, and it was a really well done guide. And I got it done in about 2 hours. I could have got it done in an hour, but I took a break to eat some food.
Right.
And then to do the PS5 version, I need to find a different guide. And I got the only one was by this dude on YouTube called The Welsh Hunter. And he's so fucking annoying that it made I don't know how to explain this, but basically every single time it was like, if you're watching a guide for a lot of these games, it's like, go over here, click on this, pick this, do this. And he had a fucking quip about everything. And it was just like, go over here and pick old El Murferino. We're going to get I don't know why, but there's like a trend with annoying people on YouTube where the idea is that when you're saying something, you add L in front of it and make it like Hispanic. And that's really stupid.
Mildly racist.
Oh, there were more racist things that guy was saying a lot of really terrible bullshit. And then he'd be like, don't cancel me, guys. But it's the only...
you're safe when you have to add, please don't cancel me to your jokes.
It was the only guide I could find that was specifically for the PS5 upgrade. His was the Xbox Series X version, but it's the same because they changed the locations and things and made the game longer when they up-resed it to PS5 for some fucking reason. But if you want to do it, that's the only guide I could find. But he sucks shit. Also, the reason that the first guide was better is that you can just skip all the dialogue by pressing circle, and he didn't. He's like, let's just go through. So it's like there was a.
Let's just.
You could have. Yeah, he was just like, oh, I'm just going to do it to make sure that I'm not going too fast. But the thing is, he would stop the game to make jokes. It sucked. Okay, and then also I got Night and Plus on the Vita. That took 30 minutes. I played that game 4 times already. That's just like a little Zelda dungeon crawler.
Right.
Whatever. That puts us at Country Rank 68, World Rank 439. I am dropping in rank because I'm not playing shitty games.
Right. But this is something you are okay with, right?
I want to be 64, 420 really bad.
That would be pretty good. I mean,
or if I could just hold Country Rank 69, I'd be fine with that too. Good. I feel like I could because I'm at level 140. The person below me at 69 is at 138, and the next person under them is 132. So it's I feel like I'm now at the range of people who don't play every single shit game that comes out every 40 stacks of it or whatever.
Right.
But it does, I do miss being in the 50s and the 40s.
Oh no.
But that's fine. No, it's fine. I don't want to play more jumping burger bullshit games. I really don't. I know. I'm sure I don't. Anyway, so that's what I did. 2 games that I wanted to talk about. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about something good or something bad?
Actually, I do. I'm gonna interrupt you.
What? What I got to talk about Gotham Knights and Resident Evil Village?
I just remembered that I did play a game.
I'm in the middle of the Platinum Report.
All right, I want to hear about Resident Evil more than anything.
What do you want to talk about? What did you want to talk about really quick? What did you want to talk about really quick?
It's not going to be worth it. I promise.
What is it?
I played Sonic Forces.
No, we're not talking about that.
I played. So I'm back on the streaming grind.
Get off this subject.
I played Sonic Forces from beginning to end. Not a very good game.
Thank you. Okay.
It's fine.
You want to hear about first? You want to hear about the Winter's expansion or Gotham Knights?
Yeah, I want to hear about Resident Evil. I want to know if it's good.
It's not worth $20.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But it was fun.
Okay.
I think $20 was so. For what it is it's a new DLC for Resident Evil Village. What's nice is I bought it for $20 and I got both the PS4 and the PS5 version. And this does make me want to go back and do the PS4 Platinum because I think Mercenaries is now going to be infinitely easier. Okay. But there are some things about it that do annoy me. So what you get in this package is, number one, the first thing you get is you can play the entire game again in third person. I don't really give a shit.
Right.
I don't think it's that much of a difference.
Okay.
You get the Shadow of Rose DLC, which is about 2 to 3 hours long, and I have some problems with. And then you get the additional maps for Mercenaries, and you unlock... They said you unlock 3 new characters. Chris, Heisenberg, and Dimitrescu. That's a fucking lie.
Oh.
You get one new character, and you have to unlock the other two.
Okay.
You only get Chris off the bat. You have to unlock Heisenberg by finishing every map with at least an A, and you unlock Dimitrescu by getting at least an S on the last new map. But to get to the new maps, you have to have already gotten through the other maps.
Okay, I understand.
And I've seen videos online. Dimitrescu really does overpower, but the thing is, you'll never be able to use that to get that legendary cowboy because you have to have already gotten there. However, Chris is so fucking good that I think going back and getting all those S ranks that took me a fucking week with Chris will be nothing. So in the original one, did you ever play the Mercenaries mode?
No, I didn't. I skipped on that.
Did you watch me play it?
Yeah, I watched you play the shit out.
Yes. So it was very annoying because he's very weak and it takes like 18 shots to kill everything, right?
Right.
Chris, everybody's got a pro and a con. Chris's con is that he cannot block and he can't heal. Chris's pro is that he gets this bomb ass fucking pistol that kills everything in 2 hits and he can fucking punch people.
Okay.
And he's got a bar called Onslaught. Every time you kill somebody or anytime you kill an enemy, you get a little bit of Onslaught. And when you get a full Onslaught bar, you press L1, R1, you do double damage and you move twice as fast.
Please tell me that there's a boulder you get a punch.
There's no boulders you can punch. The thing is, I did those 2 new maps.
The $20.
I did those first levels. It took me a week to get all the S ranks. In my first time doing the first level on my first try, I got a triple S.
God damn. Okay.
And then my first try on the second map, I got a double S, which was good enough. So I feel like I could go back into that because I have the DLC. I can go to that PS4 version, just do them all as Chris and just be like, die. He rules. Okay, so the Winners expansion. This takes place between the end of Resident Evil 8 and the Rose cutscene that's after the credits.
Okay.
Do you want to? Can I just say the whole thing? Let's just get into it.
I'm not going to be like upset at a spoiler. Granted,
put spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler real quick here. If you don't want to be spoiled, please jump to 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Okay. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. The Rose DLC opens up. Rose is sitting on a bench, and one of Chris's Hound Wolf Squad members named Kay comes to talk to her, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just checking in." She's like, "I fucking hate life. Nobody wants to talk to me. I'm a weirdo. I got all this shit coming out of me, because she's got mold powers and everything." And he's like, "Well, I think I found a way to get rid of your mold powers." And she's like, "What the fuck? Come back to this lab with me." And they go back to this secret lab, and he's like, "I have a piece of the megamycete from Romania."
Oh, fuck.
And the megamycete, because when anyone dies by it, it absorbs their consciousness.
Right.
We've got Miranda's consciousness. So if you meld with it because of your mold powers, you could see if where she put this thing called the purifying crystal, which is an artifact she had to get rid of the mold from people. You could get that information, we could find it, and we could cure you. And she's like, okay. And so she molds with the mind melds with the mold, but all of a sudden it goes bad immediately. She gets like trapped. It's like how do I explain it? It's like the Matrix. She's in this thing.
Okay.
And the whole game takes place inside of basically her consciousness that is melded with the mutamycete. That's how they explain why they can use all of the assets from Village.
Right. Okay. Well,
because it's the combined consciousness of everyone who died near the mutamycete is this. And so you get in there and you're in basically the dungeons of Castle Dimitrescu, and you're like, what's going on? And you keep finding all these dead bodies. You turn one over, it's you. It's a bunch of dead Roses, and nobody knows what the fuck is. She's like, what the fuck is this? They're all like tortured and killed. And so you get through, you find out the person who's like torturing, killing these things, it's the Duke.
Oh, fuck. Really? The bro?
Well, hold on. He's got a mask on. It's very weird. We don't understand, but he's got the purifying crystal. And he's like, if you want to earn it, you have to earn it through this. And do you remember in Dimitrescu, the thing about finding the 4 masks?
Yeah.
Well, now it's finding 3 masks.
Oh, okay.
And so you go through some puzzles in there. It's basically Demetresk, it's the same layout of House Demetresk. The difference is that it's 3 new challenges. So what it is there's only one new type of enemy you're fighting. It's these they're called face stealers. They're just zombies that when they grab you, they suck your face and then little tendrils come off your face, and that's how you take damage. And all you've got is the fucking Lemmy pistol, which you have to beat this game on hardcore to get all the trophies. Yes. That pistol takes like 9 shots to kill a dude.
Jeez.
It sucks. You can find a compensator that makes it a little bit better, but basically that whole first, I played it on standard first just to play it, to not worry about it. And then I played it again on hardcore once I knew. Right. On standard, it still took 6 shots. Like, it is very much a return to you are weak, you shouldn't shoot. It reminds me a lot less of Resident Evil, more of Silent Hill, where it's like enemies are better dodged than fought.
Right.
Which was kind of it was kind of annoying. Once I played it the second time and I played it, actually I had more fun playing on hardcore than I did on standard, because on hardcore I know to dodge, and on standard I was like, oh, I'll just fight these guys, and it was hard to do. And I think that's coming from having played Village so much, where I became an unstoppable fucking monster. And to be made, the big thing is that none of the great thing about Village is you could upgrade these weapons and bring them into New Game Pluses.
Yeah. None
of that shit comes into Shadow of Rose.
Oh.
And you can't New Game Plus Shadow of Rose, so every time is a new run. Now, so that's a little disappointing for me on the speed run aspect of it, but I get it. Also, like, when my first run through was about 2.5 hours, my second run through on hardcore was on an hour 45. So it's not that long.
Right. Now, do you like that style of Resident Evil more, where you're more of a unstoppable unit that you can just kind of just turns the game to a slightly scary action game? Or do you want the more horror aesthetic where you are weaker and you're having to...
I want the horror aesthetic the first time I play it.
Yeah.
And then when I'm doing... And then I want to be an unstoppable killing machine when I'm trying to get all the trophies.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. That's fair.
Like my first playthrough of 7 and Village and 2 remake and 3 remake, when you're weak and you have to plan out, those are very fun to me. Mm-hmm. But then it's a different time of fun when I go into, all right, now I've got an infinite rocket launcher, because then it's less about the horror. And now that's when it turns on my brain of, do I know the optimal route to speedrun this to get everything that I need? Because that's fun to me too. But it's 2 different types of fun.
Yeah, totally get that. Totally valid.
So anyway, the first part of the DLC is, it's the castle. You're trying to find these masks. And all of a sudden there's this gold writing on the wall that's like, get out of here, run. And Rose is like, what the fuck? What is this? It's like, I'm trying to help you. And she goes, are you my guardian angel? And just goes, yeah, sure, whatever, just go. And so she has to, like, it helps you get through, it gives you some items, and she's like, who are you? Like, can you tell me? And he's like, it's not safe, you need to go. And she's like, I need a name, or you're an angel, what should I call you? Should I call you Gabriel, Michael? And he's like, call me Michael, it's fine. So Michael is basically like the text from Deathloop. Do you remember how the text would just show up?
Yeah. And
it's nice. It's a way for the game to like be like, go over here. Here's the next place you should go, while adding in that it's a narrative.
Right.
And so it leads you to this area where it's like, you need to get stronger. You need these boosters, and it's, once again, they're reusing all the assets. The only like new assets in this game are some of the monsters, but other than that, it's a lot of reused assets, which is fine.
Yeah.
You have to find, basically, do you remember the little fucking vials that the parts of Rose were in?
Yes. The little...
You find those, and what they do is they give you a new power. So there's no grenades in this, right? There's a pipe bomb, but R1 is now, she's got mold powers.
Oh, cool. Like, and what does that entail, though?
So the first level of it you get is that you can blow up these little nodes that open up, like, new areas. Like, there's all this black goop everywhere. It's not the mold. It's more like a bloody goo. Mm-hmm. And so the only way to get rid of it is to find these little, they're called sclerotica, but they look like little mold flowers. You hold R1, you put your hand over it, it makes it go away, and then you can get through new areas. Once you find the second one, and that's really early in, you get a little bar on the side that starts with 3 pips, and as you find more, you'll get more. But basically, you can hold R1 over an enemy, and it's basically a knockdown freeze so that you can unload into its head or get by it.
Okay.
It's cool. It's basically like stasis from Dead Space.
Okay, I'm into that. I like.
Yeah, it's cool. So you're going through. There's not the first part of it in the castle. Really, is just like standard Resident Evil. Go through here, do a puzzle to get these masks. There's 3 masks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the puzzles aren't that hard. There's a part with a shitload of dudes. There's a part where you have to go through the basement to get one of them, and like. There's a big giant dude with like 14 faces on and a giant hammer. You have to get around him. And when you get the third one, you're all of a sudden knocked out and captured by the Duke, and you're put into this nice little puzzle where there's all of these sclerotica, and you have to pick the real ones. If you pick the fake ones, you blow up and die. And they give you like puzzles that be like, oh, the first one is below this, but over here. And so you have to see like which one adds up. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
That chapter ends after you get all 3 masks, and it turns out the crystal that was there was fake, and you get transported to a boss fight, and it's a boss fight against that big giant dude with 14 faces.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a normal like Resident Evil 2 fight where it's like he's got a big weak spot, and you're kiting him around, and he doesn't attack, and while he's out, you shoot him in it. Your standard Resident Evil stuff. It's nice. The second part is my favorite part. And that is, guess where we're going? That's right, House Beneviento.
Of course.
It's the puzzle part, and this has one of the creepiest fucking things of all time for Resident Evil. It's the puzzle. The puzzles in here I don't think are better than the Beneviento puzzles, but the enemies in here are cooler than the big giant baby was.
Okay.
As cool as the big giant baby was. So
yeah, that was the one thing. I fucking love how weird and gross and creepy that fucking big ass baby was.
Well, let me tell you about this. So you make it out of, after you fight that boss, you make it out of the castle and you make your way to basically the outside, and there's this there's all these dolls being like, welcome to your birthday party, Rosemary, come, we know what you want. And it leads you to House Beneviento, and you get into that fucking basement, and there's 2 giant fucking dolls that say happy birthday, Rose, until you get into where the Beneviento puzzle started, and you lose all your stuff again. It's just like that. Okay. The puzzles here, it starts with that you have to find these dolls. There's a big doll place, right? And so you're doing these little diorama puzzles to get dolls to put into, that's supposed to represent how everybody is mean to Rose, because it's all about how the girls at school would make fun of Rose because she, had mold powers, which means she had like all this mold dripping out of her, so they called her a freak and they made fun of her. And so you're getting all these little dolls that are like they're supposed to be the girls that were at school making fun of Rose, and one of the dolls is Rose, and it ends with like Rose being burned at the stake, which is like her thinking that she sucks. But as you're doing these puzzles and you're walking through, all of a sudden these mannequins are appearing out of nowhere and just looking at you. They don't move. It's just like you turn around and you turn back and there'll be a mannequin there. Okay. And after you do there's about 3 of these puzzles with these fucking dolls. And after you do the last one, it's like, all right, time to get the breaker. Oh, the breaker's in the back bedroom. The one that like you had to do where the baby would chase you and you hide under the bed.
Yeah.
Well, this time you're playing a game of statues. It's like, if you don't look at the statue, guess what?
Oh,
the mannequins are under boo rules. When you're looking at it and they don't move. But when you're not looking, and you'll see it you have to basically walk through this hallway where you have to keep these mannequins in your view. And if you don't, all you see is this fucking skeleton like moving like very abnormally. You know what I mean? With these bright fucking eyes, and they're just fucking chasing you, and it is terrifying.
It sounds great.
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, so far this sounds like a good expansion to me.
It is, but like I said,
$20.
Once again, $20 was too much.
Yeah,
it's only an hour and a half long. I don't think $20 was worth it. That being said, one purchase does get you both the PS4 and the PS5 version, which is nice. But I think 10 to 15 was probably the sweet spot for this. That's just me.
Okay.
Anyway. So after you do that and you go up, they say, oh, it's not over yet. And then you get a stealth portion where you've been shrunken down to like Alice in Wonderland size. No. And you have to get through do you remember the fight in House Beneviento at the end against the doll where if you weren't fast enough, those dolls would come out and stab you?
Yeah.
all those dolls are patrolling, and you have to get by without being seen. It's a standard stealth scene. It's not too bad until you go to this big one, and then one of those mannequins from the first part, which is now 20 feet tall, and you're a little, little ant, starts fucking chasing you.
Oh God.
It's very creepy and it's very good. You get to the end of that, and you get the reveal that the person that's putting this all together is Evelyn.
Oh.
From Seven.
Okay.
And she hates you for being loved by Mia and Ethan when she wanted to kill them and bring them into the my seat so that she would, have a family.
Right.
And you have this little boss fight where she basically explains, like, nobody loves you, Rose. You were, they were supposed to love me. You're nothing. You're a freak. And the boss fight is basically she pops up and you have to use your mold powers on her to, like, weaken her or whatever.
Right.
And at the end, Michael is like, the little voice has been helping you the whole time, or the little writing, I'm sorry, has been helping you the whole time. Go here, over here. She can't help you. She can't hurt you. She's terrible. And when you win the boss fight at the end of it, she's about to kill you. And all of a sudden, Michael turns up. Guess who Michael is?
Is it?
It's Ethan.
Yeah, it's Ethan.
Your dad pops out, saves your life, and sacrifices his own.
Aww.
And throws you into the deeper stratum, the lowest stratum of the Megamycete. Because you're in a mind.
Right.
That's where Mother Miranda is.
Oh.
And so you get down there, and it's the beginning village, and you have a fight scene. You have to get through the original village to. Specifically, it's the assets. It's the part where you're playing as Chris, where he has to get through and get to that hole where the big dude is.
Right.
So you have to go through there. You have to fight a couple of the Rose clones. You have to basically fight yourself. Just shoot them. And when you use your powers on them, they get knocked back really far. You just shoot them in the head. You go down there, and you find a bunch of pieces of documentation that basically show that Miranda, even though she's dead, had so much control over the Megamycete that her consciousness is still in, this, even though she's dead, and it's under her power. Oh. It's not like Jack or all them, who died in it and became the zombie. She's like, I have control over it even in death. That's how fucking, cool I am. And it turns out, guess what? This was a setup. There never was an Agent K. She was basically controlling you inside the Megamycete from outside. She made you think that this guy named K was talking to you, but there was never anybody there. And it was all set up from the end to get you to come in here and give up your powers so that she could still do her plan of putting her daughter in your body.
Oh. And then what does that resolve, though?
You die, and her daughter Eva comes back to life, who will then find a way to bring her back to life too.
Right.
It's the same plot as the first one. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, even though you thought he died in the Evelyn fight, your dad, Ethan, comes back, fucking shoots her in the head and grabs you. And there's a chase scene where basically Ethan talks to Rose, and he's like, I love you so much. I did everything for you. I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen. I'm so proud of you. But it's some really nice, showing once again that Ethan Winters is the best dad of all time and the best parent. And then you have a big giant fight scene at the end where you have to fight Mother Madeline. No, what the fuck's her name? Yeah, Mother Madeline.
Yeah.
All right, space that for a second. And that boss fight is all about you can use your mold powers to make a big giant mold tree, bring her down, and you just shoot her in the face with your shotgun a bunch of times. And then she'll throw these big golden orbs, but you can absorb them to get more mold power, so you can keep doing that. And you shoot her enough times that she eventually dies. The spirit of Ethan gives you the last bit of his Michael golden power, so you can kill her for good, and you get out of the fucking Megamycete. Ethan's so proud of you. And then they don't say if he died or not, but it is assumed that you absorbed his spirit, and he's in you now. And then the cutscene from the end of the credits where she's like, you remember that cutscene where they show adult Rose on the bus, and then that guy's there and pick you up, and then they go off into the sunset? That plays, and that's supposed to show that the Rose, everything happened and then that made Rose confident in her powers, and now if they use her again, she'll be like this badass. He's like, I got my dad with me. I know what I'm doing. I got my powers. Let's fucking go.
Okay. You know what? I'm a little happy with that ending then. because I just want more of the Rose, like Rose or Ethan. Like, granted, Ethan, rest in peace. I just want more of them, right? I just really like the
rest in peace, or is he now in Rose's head as like a little conscious?
What, he's like Jarvis for Rose?
Yeah, that'd be dope. Would it be cool if you just had like, I think that'd be super cool if just always in my head was just my dad's voice being like, "Hey son, you're doing a great job." It's like, thanks, Dad.
I wouldn't want that for me.
Yes, well, yeah, okay.
But no, like, I totally get that. That would be, I think that could be something really fun, especially for, story purposes. I think they could do a really good job of telling a fun story with that, but it will be interesting to see where they just take the franchise next, because if we're done with the Winters family, then it's like,
I don't know, that they said they were done with the Winters family, but then they did this and they set up for Rosemary to be a fucking badass. So, but also this does happen 16 years later. So it could be that the next Resident Evil takes place in between then and now when Rose is still a kid, because they have so much to do with Chris and everything. So
and this could be us getting to this point of like,
yeah, what if like they're like, yeah, we're done with Rose and Ethan, and they do Resident Evil 9 and 10 and stuff, and it's with this Chris BOW shit, and then all of a sudden Resident Evil 11, all of a sudden it's, Rose is like, yo, what up? I'm here to fucking kill.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool. I would say we've never rated a DLC, but I'd like to rate the DLC.
Yeah.
I'd like to give it I thought it was really fun. Like I said, my original, like, this sucks was only playing it the first time when I was weak because I was so used to being
badass.
But then once I get used to it, it's like, and like I said, it was way more fun on hardcore, where it's like I got to, juke and jive and use all my fucking skills. I give it gold.
Okay. Damn.
For trophies,
it's good.
For trophies, there's only 7 trophies. There is 3 trophies for actually beating Shadow Rose on casual, standard, and hardcore, but they do stack. So, like, if I did this again on PS4, I'd just do one more playthrough on hardcore and I'd get them all.
Okay.
There's a trophy for using Rose's mutamycete powers at least 20 times. You'll definitely do that. There's one for crafting every type of item in Shadow of Rose. There's only 4. There's first aid kit, handgun ammo, shotgun ammo, and pipe bombs. Very easy to make, easy. And then there's 1 trophy for completing Bloody Village and Bloody River on the new Mercenaries maps. Those are the 2 mercenary maps. Mm-hmm. So trophies-wise, it's super fucking simple.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to give it a gold. Like I said, if you're a Resident Evil freak like me, $20, who cares? Whatever, get it. If you're like, whatever, maybe wait.
For like the game of the year edition or whatever.
Yeah, they've already made it. They made a gold edition that you can pick up.
Oh yeah.
Wait until you can buy it used somewhere for cheaper, and then you'll get it all.
Yeah.
Now that being said, there's one other game I played.
Yeah, I want to hear about this too, because look, I gave up on these games. I played the first one and I really liked it.
Here's the thing. Everyone's saying that. This is not made by the Arkham people.
That's right. It's made
so that everyone keeps comparing this. They're like,
aren't they?
Everyone is comparing this to Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and being like, oh, those Arkham games. This is not an Arkham game.
Okay.
This is its own thing. It's made by its own company, WB Games Montreal.
Yes.
Who has also, well, they did make Arkham Origins, but they didn't. It's not Rocksteady. They didn't make the mainline Arkham games.
So wait, is Arkham Origins not a part of the mainline then?
I think it's a spinoff.
Okay.
I think that if you're saying the actual Arkham series is just those 3 made by Rocksteady: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. But I might be wrong. Write in and tell me if I'm wrong. This game sucks.
Oh no. I mean, I fully expected you to say that.
My friend, so hey, talking to Frank. Frank was the one who talked me into buying this because he told me it's just like a shitty Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I was like, I like Spider-Man. If it's shitty, it's still fun to do that open world swing around and stop things. But no, this isn't just, it's a shitty Spider-Man. This is shitty Spider-Man. This is bad Spider-Man.
It's just not good in any capacity.
Before I talk about this, I want to tell you about the story because the story is something stupid. I'll sum this up really quick.
Now, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a shot in the dark because I've seen a little bit, and
you'll never be able to guess what the story to this game is.
I was going to say it reminded me of the I can't remember, the Death of the Caped Crusader, I think is what it was. 2011, 2010, somewhere in there, where like Batman dies, and then there's like a weird vacuum in Gotham City where everyone's trying to figure out like what to do about Batman's death, and then that is when Dick Grayson's like, you know what, I have to take the mantle, I have to become Batman, and then that starts Grant Morrison's excellent run on
absolutely yes, and then it fucking sucks. So here's how it starts. The game opens up with Batman versus Ra's al Ghul in the Batcave, and then to make sure that Ra's doesn't get out, Batman kills himself by blowing up the Batcave.
Okay.
Then all that shit about like, it's Nightwing, Robin, Tim Drake Robin, Barbara Gordon Batgirl, who is the same Barbara Gordon from The Killing Joke, who got better.
Okay. Oh God. I hate it so much when they do this shit.
It's funny though,
because it sucks. Hey, you have this excellent like disabled character, and then like she's magically better. It's like,
she's not magically better. Yeah. Like, but honestly though, she's the best character in the whole fucking game. At least she was my favorite, because I'll talk about it later in gameplay. But and then the other one is Jason Todd as Red Hood, but he's calmed down. And they're like, oh, we got to work on whatever Batman's last case was, and what's the League of Assassins doing, or the League of Shadows? What do they call it? They call it the League of Assassins or the League of Shadows. I always fuck that up. In this game, it is called. There's a trophy about it.
Yeah.
League of Shadows. So the League of Shadows, why are they in fucking Gotham? We got to do Batman's last case. We got to find this guy, and there's this scientist, and you track him down, and something happens. Talia's in town, and she wants to know what happened to her beloved. And like the first part of this game is like going around is like, Penguin's like, there's something's going on, and I don't know what. You got to help me. And you find out that the last case that Batman was working on is finding out if the Court of Owls is real. And guess what? It is.
It is. Like, spoiler.
So it's you find out the Court of Owls was hiring a scientist to do some shit, and you don't know what, and you have to go after the Court of Owls, and you find out that Batman's uncle was the leader of the Court of Owls, and he knew Bruce was Batman, and he had been making sure that the Court of Owls didn't go after Batman because he loved his nephew. But now that he's done, they're gonna do their task, which is finding they're trying to look for the fucking what's it called? What's the fucking thing? The Fountain of Youth, so that all the rich people of Gotham can live forever.
Oh, like the Lazarus Pits?
Shut up! I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
You don't know that yet.
I don't know that Lazarus Pits are a thing, and that's probably how Batman is alive.
Shut up.
Has anyone read a Batman comic before? Because
shut the fuck
about
up.
To be spoiled.
So then the middle of the game is like going against. There's some side shit with other villains, but you're going against the Court of Owls, who is looking for the League of Shadows, Lazarus Pit, which they want to take to live forever.
Right.
And then Talia's there, and she burns Ra's al Ghul so that he can't be resurrected, so that she can take over the League of Shadows. And yeah, you learn at the end that all of this was Talia's doing, so she could take over the League. And she knew Batman would blow himself up, and then he stole his body. And she's been continuously the whole game dunking him in Lazarus Pits over and over again, like dunking him and killing him, and dunking him and killing him. So that way his mind gets wiped, and she can take him over for good, and she'll be her right hand man is in the new League of Shadows after they wipe the Court of Owls. They're specifically there to kill the Court of Owls. The League of Shadows is like, this is a blight on the world. It's because of the Court of Owls. So it's really Court of Owls versus League of Shadows, and then the Bat Kids are just kind of in the middle.
Okay.
And at the end of the game, you're fighting Talia. You fight resurrected Batman, and you break that, and you're like, oh, thanks, I'm back. And then you have a fight against Talia right as the fucking Court of Owls show up, and Batman goes, well, there's only one thing to do. I'm going to take the Batwing that's here and blow it up and kill myself again to kill everybody. So Batman's still fucking dead at the end of this game.
Oh my God. But
there's
is he
also
though? Because
who fucking knows. There's also 3 side stories. One's with Harley, where it's like she's trying to pimp a line of like Joker like cosmetics or something. See, she fucking hates this game too. No, it's fine. She
Lucy
fucking
wanted to.
Lucy fucking hates this game too. Lucy understands how shitty
Lucy
this game is.
This is dumb. Batman always lives. What are you talking about?
I'm going to be completely honest. So I don't quite remember what happens in the Harley Quinn side thing because halfway through I got so bored I just started skipping all the cutscenes. Harley's got some plan to like Jokerify or Harleyfy some people, and she's doing it through like a self-help. Oh, that's what it is. She's doing it through a self-help thing where she's like planting bombs and shit. It's stupid. Mr. Freeze has got one where he's hired this gang called the Regulators, who are like
bound up.
They're like tech people, and he wants to like steal shit because he's Mr. Freeze. And then Clayface has got a side quest where he's like stealing people to make Clayface people so that he can be Clayface. I don't know. It's really stupid.
So everyone's just kind of doing the same. Everyone had the same genius idea of, hey, what if I just made a bunch of me and clones of like little minions that I could have running around, and everyone just did that at the same time and got.
So here's why this game sucks. It's basically how most of these games are like 2-button games where it's like you have a strong attack and a heavy attack. Well, in this one, strong and heavy are the same button. It's just if you press or hold, and the other button is press or hold for a strong or heavy ranged attack. That's it. Gameplay is really stupid and easy. There's a dodge button. But like, okay, so think about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a game that had a really good written story.
Yep.
Everyone acts well. And then in between, you've got this whole open city where travel feels good, and there's a lot of different activities to do.
Yeah.
Now, what if there was only one activity to do, and it was just skinned over about 100 times to different things, but it's really all the same, and travel feels bad?
I don't think that's a game that I'll be playing. Is what.
So you have like the Gatling gun, right? And you can Gatling onto almost anything, and you think, oh, that means you can swing. Not really, because what happens is when you get to the end, you have to hold X and you'll jump up, and then maybe you can swing again. But half the time when you do it, it doesn't register, and so you just climb up and you just stand and you go really slow. Everybody eventually unlocks what's called heroic travel. So like I played Batgirl, you can put the Batcape out and glide, and it's kind of fun to you can kind of rocket up on your Gatling gun. If you do jump, you jump, and then you can glide, and so it's like more steps to do the same thing Spider-Man did, which was just to swing, which felt infinitely cool. Do you remember we were talking about Spider-Man before? I was like, I never used fast travel because I didn't want to. I used as much fast travel as I could in this game. And the thing is, the fast travel is so annoying because you have to unlock the fast travel by going to these points and finding these little robots. They're like, oh, the GCPD put up these drones because they don't like vigilantes. The GCPD doesn't like you. They're enemies in the game, and they're super tough enemies that give no XP for beating them.
Oh, fun.
But they'll beat the shit out of you. But you have to scan these fucking stupid little drones, but it's hard to find because you have this AR sweep where you can press down on the D-pad and it does a sweep, but the things only stay on the screen for like half a second. You can hold it down to get a better view, but then you're holding that down while trying to move, and you can't do both at the same time. You know what I mean?
God, yeah. It is something that you have to be stationary.
So what you have to do to get like clues and everything is you'll have these little like street crimes that are happening, and it's basically these little white triangles, and it's just like a couple guys will be assaulting someone. You have to go in and just beat them up. That's it. Right. And then you do enough of those, and you get premeditated crimes. Oh, the way that they structure this is that the game only takes place at night. So what it is every night, or between every day, you go to the Belfry and you get a little cutscene, and then you have to go out at night on a patrol. And when you're done, you go back to the Belfry, and that's the night. And that's how you repopulate the map with more things. Kind of stupid. But when you do just crimes or when you beat up people, you'll get clues. And you get enough clues, you'll unlock these red premeditated crimes, which are like big crimes, but they're basically the same things. It's like 4 or 5 of the same thing over and over again. It's either like they're robbing a armored car, or they've got hostages, or they're trying to steal organs, and it's just the same. I think there's only 5 or 6 over and over and over.
Ugh.
It's so fucking.
Does this game feel more of a cash grab than anything else that you've played that would of like this genre? I guess.
This is not a CAD. No, if it was just a cash grab, they wouldn't be trying as hard. This feels like they really tried and fucked it up.
You're telling me? Oh, okay. See, that's where I think in my head I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, what a colossal failure, right? But I'm thinking like, oh, it's a team that just maybe trying to retain a license or trying to do something. They're just trying to get the money for it to do something else. This you're telling me they actually feel like
this feels like they thought they were on to fucking something.
Oh no.
And they weren't. What really fucking made this game annoying for me is a couple trophies that made me grind. So this game took me 5 days, 5.5 days.
Right.
It would have been 2 to 3 if it wasn't for a couple trophies. So first of all, there's a trophy for crafting a complete set of legendary items. Oh, this game has so much fucking gear. It does like a Division thing where it's like you have a slot for your suit, your range weapon, and your melee weapon. And so, things have like a gear score and you have to go and get like fucking, crafting components, but you'll get like 20 million crafting components that you don't need because most of the gear is useless. Except there's a legendary crafting component called nth metal, and you need like 250 of them for each of those. The only way to get nth metal is after you've beaten the game, when those premeditated crimes can have depending on your level, they're either very easy, moderate, high, or very high, right?
Right.
On the very high ones, they have a random chance to spawn one of Gotham's most wanted. And Gotham's most wanted will drop those nth metals. The only other way to get them is that you can do these, like, the Penguin will give you random missions of, like, go stop this type of crime. Go help this many citizens, not help citizens, but it's like other people will tell you to do that. And the thing is, the Penguin's the only one that'll give nth metal. It's like, you'll have to do these 3 things and he'll give you 10. The only way to get 200 or whatever that you need is to kill these guys. And so it's literally just going out on patrol, killing enough people to get clues so you get premeditated crimes, going back, starting the next night, hoping that some of those premeditated crimes are very high because it's random, and then hoping randomly that out of those very high ones, somebody spawns. That took me like 5 or 6 hours to find 3. God. It's very boring. It's very fucking boring. There's also one for killing very specific types of high-end enemies. So, like, there's a bunch of groups of, like, there's the mob, there's freaks, which are supposed to be like Joker gang people.
Right.
There's the regulators, there's the League of Shadows, and there's the Court of Owls. And each one has
the regulators. I just think of that fucking Warren G song.
Yeah. Hey,
we're gonna get copyright strike for that because I'm putting it in right here, aren't I?
Mount up. It was a
Dog and Warren G were just trying to consume. So, like, they'll have these bruisers, these big units, and so, like, you have to defeat 30 of the mob godmothers, which are just these big lady bruisers. You have to fight 30 freak bulldozers. The regulators have 45 of their shockers and 30 of their drone masters, and those you'll just get from playing because those 3 groups are the easiest groups. It's the other 2. It's that you have to defeat 45 League of Shadow Assassins and 30 Rocketeers. There's not enough of those in main missions, so you have to go and just randomly find League of Shadows crimes.
Oh, geez.
You have to defeat 10 man. The ultimate enemy is that the League of Shadows is making man bats. And in the story, yeah, and in the story, you fight 5 of them.
Okay.
Now you have to find 5 more. They only spawn in 4 or 5 very specific areas on top of very specific buildings, and it's random every night if one will show up or not. And then the really annoying one was for defeating the Court of Owls bad guys. You have to defeat 40 Talons, Feral Talons, 25 Gladiator Talons, and 15 Hunter Talons, which are just different types of their Talon enemies.
Right.
But once again, there's not enough in the story, so you're just randomly looking for Court of Owls crimes until you get enough.
Yeah.
And there's not enough. There's also a shitload of just random collectibles. So it's just running around town. There are 154 collectibles in this game.
Fuck.
There are 60 random batarangs that you just have to find around the city. and they're these little blue blips. So you just have to walk around and find them. There are 42 hidden pages of the Court of Owls book. Those are the most annoying because like the batarangs are these blue blips, and you'll find them. The Court of Owls ones are you have to hit your AR and to find these little like graffiti of the Court of Owls, but it just tells you that one's in the area because the one where the actual fucking collectible is doesn't show up. You have to actually look for this one specific, like it looks like two keys crossed and there's a little hole in it. It's fucking annoying. Oh, you have to find 12 street murals and you have to find 40 history landmarks of like things around the building. You also have to do 12 secret caches, which are like little time trial runs. Right. You have to do 5 secret identity missions where it's like you have to stealth in, which why Batgirl is so good. I still haven't told you why Batgirl's the best. I'll tell you in a second. You have to do 7 time trials on the Bat Cycle, which are kind of suck, and 16 training exercises where there's a couple around them. You also have to do 250 crimes. So between the premeditated crimes and those little white triangle crimes that you find just randomly, you have to do 250 of those.
Oh my god.
Which are more than you need. And then after all of that, you have to get full rank, or full XP, which is level 40. You can only get to level 30 in the game, so you have to do New Game Plus.
Of course.
This game sucks. You should play as Batgirl though, and I'll tell you why. Batgirl has everybody has 3 skill trees and then a 4th one called the Knighthood tree, which is like your special abilities that Batman gives you. Hers is like a drone, but she's got one skill tree that's all about doing more crit damage. Mm-hmm. So she's a good brawler. She's got one skill tree that's all about just not dying, called Grit, because she came back from being in a wheelchair. So it's all just like, every time you kill an enemy, you get 4% of your health back. She's got a second wind. She's the only one's like, if you die, now you don't.
Perfect.
She's got one that's just like, you take 75% less damage on counterattacks. And then she's got another one that you don't want to, I didn't invest too much in, but there's one skill. She's got a skill for basically her time as the Oracle. It's as a hacker. Oh, and she's got a skill that lets you hack, like, you can go to your aim mode and like hack things on the wall to explode. Or if somebody's got like a turret, you can hack it to, not work. But she's got a skill that basically just says, all these stealth missions where like you have to get through lasers and you can't be seen by security cameras and all that. Yeah, they just don't see you. So it makes all of these stealth missions a fucking joke when it's just like, get through this area without being seen, and you just walk through the door. She rules. For fun, I give this game a bronze. For trophies, because of how annoying some of these grinds are, I'm also going to give it a bronze. I don't think it's so bad as to give it a no trophies or an achievement. I think a 0-1 is a little but this is a solid 2 game.
Okay.
Spoiler, in a couple months when we talk about worst game of the year, this will probably be on my list.
I remember just seeing all the fallout of that game. As that game was about to come out, I remember there was a leak about how Batman was, going to be Lazarus pitted in the game, and people were upset about that. And I'm like, I'm so confused because I'm like, all y'all who are upset about this claim you're diehard like Batman fans. You did not see this coming. Like, did anyone remember when Bruce died in the comics for several years, only to be just like kind of brought back unceremoniously?
Nobody ever dies.
Like,
nobody.
Yeah,
no
exactly. This is comic books. Like, I don't see where people are getting upset at it because it's
the only person that stays dead forever is Uncle Ben. The only person that stays dead forever is Uncle Ben. Everybody else comes back. It used to be Bucky and Uncle Ben, and then about 15 years ago, even that was broken.
And Barry Allen, but
yeah. Hey, this is the God of War episode.
Is it the God of War episode?
I want it to still be the God of War episode, but I want to amend it a little bit. We were going to do a full retrospect on God of War 2018, but
which I thought it was 2016 for the longest time,
but it's 2018. But someone here didn't play it.
I did. I moved. I've been doing everything with that. Like, life has been too hellish and hectic for me to be able to. Because here's the thing. I really do want to play that game, and I think we should really talk about it. But the problem is that if we were to include it in this week's episode, it is not. I will make you the love that it deserves.
I will make you a deal.
Okay.
Let me talk a little bit about why I'm. No, you know what? Fine. we don't have to make this the God of War episode. This can be the Gotham Knights episode and the Winter's expansion episode. But I want a God of War episode.
Yeah.
I want a God of War episode next episode. I want to do it about God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok because it'll be out.
Okay. I think
hold on.
We could do that.
Okay. This one went long because I was really passionate about it. I was good passionate about Resident Evil and I was bad passionate about Gotham. So we did go a little long. I apologize. Wait, there was something more I wanted to say about Gotham really quick. What was it? It was really something stupid that I hated about Gotham Knights.
That it was amazing.
There were these really annoying fucking time trials for like gliding as your character, and I thought I had to do them and didn't realize until I was after done with all of them that it wasn't a trophy. Like they put in all of these like time trials for using
the select button to switch.
There was exactly. No, it was really stupid. It was the time trials like the bicycle, but I had to use Barbara's glide, and it's not very pinpoint, right? And they wanted you to be very pinpoint. And then I got through all of this shit, and no trophy popped. I was like, "Is it glitched?" And I was like, "Oh, there's no trophy for this. Why did they put this in the? Oh, fuck. All right, sorry. Okay,
genius. I love it.
So this was going to be the God of War episode because God of War Ragnarok is coming out later this week.
Yes,
we were going to do something else, which I'm not going to say because we'll bank it for later.
Yes,
I'm okay not ending the episode, but like not doing God of War if we promise next episode is a God of War retrospective. Not only God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, I want to talk about older God of Wars too, maybe. Because I have God of War 1 and 2 platinumed. I don't have any of the other ones, but we can talk. But I just want to do a God of War episode because
I think it's going to be impossible for us to not talk about the old stuff with the new game. We don't
need to talk about the old stuff trophy-wise, but we can just talk about those games compared to this new Greek versus Norse. And by next time, I'll definitely have the new game platinumed unless something's broken about it.
I'll have God of War finished. Oh my god, I didn't realize there was so much involved in moving
across the country.
Oh my god.
And uprooting your entire life.
I'm gonna be
moving 3,000 miles away.
It was way easier to move to Japan. I'm not kidding. It was so much easier.
It's because you probably couldn't bring as much stuff.
I think that's part of it, right? Here's my advice to you.
Did you have Lucy at the time you guys moved to Japan?
No.
That's the other thing. You also had to move a dog.
Right. So it's like...
For those of you who don't know, Chris has a dog named Lucy.
I do. She's really
Lucy.
You might have heard her like 10 minutes ago.
She hates Gotham Knights.
She fucking hates Gotham Knights. She said, you took Barbara out the chair again? She said, no, I'm fucking over this. And
Barbara, listen, they took Barbara out the chair, but she is, like I said, I think, the best character. I know a lot of people also really like Red Hood because his guns are just really good, and he's got the strongest attacks. Robin is all about stealth, but the problem is you think it's stealth, that'd be good. The thing is, it's so much easier to just blunt force through everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one or two missions where you have to be stealthy, and then Nightwing is kind of an all-rounder, and he's got an entire tech tree that's all about playing with other people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna play, but here's the thing: this is you've got 4 characters. You can only play 2. That's not a 4-player multiplayer. It's only 2.
It is 2-player multiplayer though.
Yeah, but who cares?
Okay. That's
apparently they're gonna roll out 4-player multiplayer sometime later, either next month or sometime early next year. But the game's not good enough to want.
They really looked at that Avengers game and really tried to copy some of the stuff.
Yes,
in that, huh?
This is they are trying to make their own Marvel Spider-Man mixed with Avengers and shit like that. And I heard someone compare it a little bit to The Division, and it's it's a shitty Division. I want Division 3.
It's just I wouldn't, it's not technically a shooter, I guess, but it's that loot shooter mentality of Borderlands, where it's just, here's 5,000 different pieces of equipment, and you should equip them in some way, but it's just...
Oh, so if you do play this game, here's the thing. There's all this different loot with all of these numbers, blah, blah, blah. Just pick whatever has the highest power. It doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. I think...
Also,
I'm really
after
tired
a while,
of games doing that.
I was playing it on normal, and I got really bored and just put it on fucking easy. There's even I didn't go so as low to put it on very easy, but also if you just want to listen, if you can find this game on super sale a year from now for $5 and you just want to platinum, just put it on very easy and blow through this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're trying to end this episode.
It's not over yet.
So
How are you enjoying it so far?
you didn't get to rate anything this episode. I do feel bad about
that's okay. I mean, look, I think in a year's time from now, when we're looking back at these episodes and what we did in the past year and looking into the future and stuff, I think we're going to see this is a really weird transformation time for where like my life just completely changed. And
I'm okay with it.
Honestly, got better, but like,
well, I mean, we're not done yet. We got emails, we got other things, and so, but yeah, I think this was a good episode, even though it was about two. We don't usually do recent games. We're usually all about old games because we're like an old game club. But like, this was fine.
I got a game to rate. I played Sonic Forces.
Oh yeah, cool.
No,
okay,
here. Let me give you the quickest, like 1 minute. Explanation.
Go ahead.
This game is a complete abortion of a Sonic game.
Whoa!
It is fucking awful. It is.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
No, it's really not that. I don't know. Like, I'm so conflicted because the classic Sonic stages are absolutely awful. They suck. They're not even worth your time. And the game does that thing where, did you ever watch The Munsters, the 2022?
No.
Okay, well, the whole thing about that movie is
we tried to watch it as a joke, and about 20 minutes in, I was like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, like every time there's a problem introduced, it is rectified immediately. There's no conflict ever. And this game kind of does that. It starts with Sonic's dead. Immediately, Sonic's back.
What?
Yeah, that's how the game starts. Is everyone's like, man, I can't believe Sonic died, and it's like, no. And then like stage 3. Tails is like, wow, or Amy or somebody is like, wow, Sonic's actually alive. He's just, for the last 9 months, he's been tortured constantly under Eggman's.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like he's not even on the planet. He's in space, and Eggman's just been torturing him.
How's the trophies?
And then you get him, and then you play the rest of the game, and it's kind of boring. Every time the stage is starting to get good, it ends, which I think is a problem that the Sonic games of the aughts and the naughties, apparently, what the British are saying.
I fucking hate the word naughties.
It's stupid. It's dumb. I just saw that this morning when I was reading
just say the 2000s.
The 2000s. They kind of suffered from levels being like 10 to 15 minutes long, and they get really boring, and everyone hates them, and they're frustrating, and then you lose all your lives, and you have to restart the whole 15-minute level again. Well, all of these stages are like a minute and a half, which is probably where a Sonic level should be, but when you consider that 3/4 of the stage are just camera pans where like it takes control away from you, it's like the levels are 5 seconds long and they're really boring. Like this was something when I was playing on stream, I was like, I complain about this on the podcast all the time. It's when the game takes control away from the player. That's mostly what this game is. You barely play a video game. The boss fights aren't fun, and the story is kind of lame. So I would give Sonic Forces. Oh, well, I will say making an avatar is kind of cool, but like you play like 3 stages as your avatar, and it's kind of dumb. I give the game an achievement.
Really, a 0? You think it's that bad?
No, it's probably like, I don't know, because again, like I beat the game in one sitting. Like from beginning to end, and everyone was like, "What? You really? Yeah. It's a 2-hour game. It was $40 when it came out. It wasn't really fun to like. The first time I played it, I was like, "Oh, okay, this might be fun as a Sonic game that you can sit down and play from beginning to end, in no time, and maybe that might be fun in like a year or 2 from now." I haven't played it since the game released until this week. And it wasn't even that. It was really just the most piss poor Sonic game that I think I've ever played. Like there's no heart in it at all.
It's every Sonic game.
No, I feel like there's some redeeming qualities to like almost every Sonic game, right? But this one I love the idea of the avatar. It will never come back for sure. Like there's no way they'll ever let you do that again. And it's kind of unfortunate. And it's like, I think that some of the levels, again, there's a part in almost every stage where you're like, wow, they're on to something right here in this design. Like this part was really cool. This one little section of a level. If they would have had that going through the whole stage or maybe the whole game, or I don't know, maybe that would be more fun.
All right.
But it just, it's every time you are about to hit that like excitement part, it just stops and ends the stage, and you're like, oh, you're very unsatisfied through the whole thing. So yeah, I think it is. I think it's like,
is it a 0 or 1?
What do we give a 1? What is 1? Just no.
One is a
trophy.
No. I think we called it no trophies, but that doesn't make sense. I meant to. It's like a. What is okay? So achievement is a 0. What is a 5 is a platinum. This
platinum
system
gold
sucks.
is 4.
Gold is 4. Silver is 3. Bronze is 2.
Bronze is 2.
We said no trophies.
Yeah, this just gets trophies.
No trophies, because that's to signify the PS3 games that came out at the launch of PS3 to before.
It gets no trophies then.
It gets no trophies. It's a 1.
It is playable. Like I will say, like I didn't encounter any bugs or any weird glitches. The game, control wise, I would say fluctuates. Like it feels very floaty at times, and then it feels very heavy at times. It just doesn't feel confident in what it is trying to do or tell you, and I think that being the biggest crux of the game is why it just it falls apart constantly. So yeah, it's a no trophy for me. If you have it for free, I mean it's 2 hours. It's not like really quick. It takes your time away, I guess. Really quick,
this has nothing to do with Sonic. I just want to shout out the best fucking tweet clapback I've ever seen. My friend, longtime friend Eric Badur, tweeted out, pretty excited to see Philadelphia lose 2 championships in one day. And some fucker was just like, fuck you, Badur. The best comeback I've seen on Twitter in a long time. Eric just goes, you follow me, I don't follow you.
That's fucking gold.
You're the best.
Holy shit.
Fucking love Eric. Okay. Emails?
You know what? I give that clapback a platinum.
Platinum.
That's a platinum.
Clapback of the year.
First clapback. That'll be on our top 10.
I want to note my own clapback though. Can I call myself out? Somebody on Reddit when we were talking about the Christmas cast was just like, generally not gonna watch. Ryan is a wholly unlikable person. Nobody likes Ryan. Blah blah blah. And I just put, nah, I'm cool. Oh no, I put, no, you'll watch. Because he's like, I'm not gonna watch. I was like, no, you'll watch. And he answered back with like some article about how chiropractic sucks because there's a bunch of haters. It was like a list of pseudosciences, and he goes, I don't see what I've devoted my entire life to on this list. Do you? And I was talking to Rocco about this when I was down there. It was like, that guy is so stupid. He doesn't know how well he set himself up. So I just put, oh, you're right. I don't see conceited asshole on this list. And then he deleted all his shit.
Oh,
fuck that
awesome.
Guy. I think his name was like something vegetable. Hey, fuck you. You're not listening to this because you're a piece of shit, but fuck you. All right. Emails. We got a bunch of emails.
Yo, we got a bunch of emails.
I want to say this. My favorite part of the show that we don't get enough of is the emails, because I like talking to the listener, the callers at home.
Yeah.
So
I love having a dialogue with people.
I want people to talk to us so we can talk about new things. So caller, go ahead.
Well, we got some fucking calls. So here we go. This is a long time still listening. Dustin, right? Hey, Cracker Jacks. Made you listen to it twice. Plus the silly little things afterwards. Oh, I feel like, am I missing something?
What?
Am I missing?
Stop. Just read the whole thing word for word.
Yes. Okay. You made me listen to it twice. Plus the silly little thing afterwards. Oh, okay. Oh, ha.
Is this from Omar?
I get it. No. This is from someone else. This was a joke. This was a joke that I put in.
Oh.
It was, so at the start of one of the episodes, I put the ending of it, like hey, you can follow us on this, and that,
Oh yeah, I remember.
I put that at the beginning of the episode, and I was like, haha, what are you gonna do? I put it at the beginning. Now you can't skip it because I assume that when you get to the end of the episode, like I do this to the podcast that I listen to frequently, is I just skip the part at the end. Hey, every once in a while I'll throw it in the beginning.
Sometimes I will listen back to our own episodes to make sure that like things were okay, or like if I need to remember what I said about something for Game of the Year, because I like to write that stuff down, and even I will skip that part of our own episode.
Well, I think even at the end,
don't skip it though.
Don't skip it. Listen to find out where we go.
We need to start putting secret things at the end of it so that
Well,
there's
that's
a
what I
reason to
did.
listen to it.
Is at the end of it, then I put a little thing that said, "Oh, what? Like you're still here at the end? I made you listen to it twice. Now what are you gonna do about it?"
All right, read the fucking email.
Love the show. I don't really care about baseball, but I'm down here in northern San Diego County.
Fuck yeah.
Everyone is into the Padres run, so good luck, Dr. Ryan. Well,
They suck.
ooh.
And they won one game. I was down there during a couple of the games. We watched one of the games at my grandma's memorial. I got Rocco to care about baseball. It was cool. Whatever. Next year they'll have they knocked so many games off Tatis's extension or what's the word I'm looking for? Suspension.
Right.
So now he comes back on 420. And they're gonna kill. Also, I bought a fucking jersey while they were playing the Mets. I bought a jersey while they were playing the Mets, and I got it about 3 days ago.
Oh shit! Was it the Yu Darvish one?
No, it's not Kim.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's fair.
Kim's my boy. I fucking love Kim.
Hey, look, I don't give Korean baseball as much love as I should, but it is some good shit, so I'll give it. It says. He goes on to say, those Japanese baseball teams collabs with anime sound very interesting, and I would like to check that out. The Tunic game sounds awesome. Please keep updating us with it. Thanks for the show, and keep up the great work, Dustin. Hey, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Dustin. Here's the update to Tunic. I beat it already.
Yeah, and
I could beat it again. I could do the PS5 one.
I'm not playing it, but I'm like with my wife as she's playing.
You will. I'm sorry.
My wife.
Thank you.
I fucked up on that.
Here's the update. You will hear a lot about Tunic next month during the game of the year
for sure. Okay. Now we have a long time, first time.
I like those.
It says hello, Ryan and Chris. Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah.
And
wait, did we say thank you to Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dustin. All right, go ahead.
Long-time listener, first-time caller, and I know that, like me, Dr. Ryan is a big fan of the PSVR and has a number of platinums in VR games. I'm curious if you have any difficulties when trying to get platinums in VR games, or if there are plats that you do not have because of the unique nature of VR gaming. For example, I have Skyrim VR, and while I enjoy it, the idea of putting hundreds of hours into the plat is inconceivable to me. Thank you for this podcast, Ian. Hey.
Thank you, Ian. Okay, so I think the hardest thing about platinuming a PSVR game is one of two things. Number one, if it's a game with a bunch of collectibles where I have to look at a guide, it's just constantly pausing the game, take off the headset, look at the guide, put the headset back on. It's very annoying. The other thing is that PSVR 1 does not have the best controls. And there are several games that my most hated trophy type in any PSVR game is the make a basket.
Right. Because
the physics usually suck shit.
Yeah, I get that.
And almost every PSVR game has like that, shoot 10 basketballs. You shoot. There was one in Trover Saves the Universe to like make 100 baskets into this waste paper basket, and it was hell. There was a trophy in Rick and Morty for doing this one mini game, and the controls weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
I have Marvel's Iron Man VR because it was going to be so much fun. I bought it without even looking at the trophy list. The trophy list came out later, and I've never played it because there's a trophy for beating that game on the hardest difficulty, and it's fucking hard. They made a fucking sequel to one of my favorite movies, Groundhog's Day, and they made it as a VR game, and I've never played it because one of the trophies is doing this dance bit perfectly, and people are like, this controls like such shit that this is, because sometimes you'll do the exact thing you need to and it just won't register. That is why I'm excited for PSVR 2, because it's going to be much better. It's going to be more like responsive, and it's going to have those like Oculus style. It's not using the fucking PSVR Move anymore.
Right. Now, so do you enjoy that $500 price point that they put with it? Hey, and we got a date for that too, right?
$550.
$550? Oh my God.
How do I answer this without sounding like a shithead?
Well, okay, I know your answer because but that's still a lot of money. That's the price of the PlayStation itself.
Yeah, you're right. It is. I'm still gonna buy it.
Yeah. Well, I'll play yours.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I saw that price.
I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up to where you live, and we'll bring it up for a weekend, and we'll play it.
I'd be down. I want to try VR. The only time I've played VR was in Japan, and
actually, legitimately, once I get it, I think that'd be fun. I'll bring it up, and there'll probably be a bunch of party games. We can do that.
Oh my god, that would be.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Ian. Good email.
Yeah.
Also, if you have PSVR, still the best game, Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. The second best. Here's my top 3 if you ever do get a PSVR 1, because eventually they'll become cheap used. Mm-hmm. So the top 3 I think PSVR games are The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, Astrobot Rescue Mission, and what's it called? Office Simulator. Actually,
heard about that.
Play Vacation Simulator, because it's the same stuff, but it's bigger. There's more puzzles. I thought it was a fun time.
Okay.
So those are my top 3. It's or actually Trover was actually a really good game, but you don't have to play it in VR if you don't want to.
Right. And to tag up in the end of that email, I'm with you. Is it friend Ian? Because I wouldn't want to wear a VR headset for that.
For 100. I have the one I came with comes with the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, whatever. The thing is, though, the reason I didn't play it is also I've just never played Skyrim, and I don't want my first time to be in VR.
Yeah. Really? Wait, you've never played it?
Never played a second of Skyrim.
Is that?
I own it. It's like 100 hours. It's not hard. It's just long. Yeah. I own a copy on PS3, PS4, and VR, just because you pick them up for like a couple dollars off of Pinkorilla, just because.
We should.
I bought some more stuff from Pinkorilla the other day. I bought a copy of Shark Tale on PS3 or PS2.
Oh, shit.
I bought some PS2 games because I bought a copy of Shark Tale, a copy of Fantavision, and a copy of Stacked, because it's a poker game that on the back says Halo with chips.
What?
I also bought some old GamePro because it was a swimsuit issue, and I thought that was funny.
There was one.
He's starting to do deals more, and it's great. But he does them at like 3:00 in the afternoon when I'm at work.
Yeah,
and I'm on that delay, and I can't win shit.
Oh shit! I should. I can't. It would be impossible. It would be impossible. I should just go in as your proxy and be like, "Yeah, but you want this? You want that?"
He's opening up a new store.
Well, yeah,
Capitol Hill.
He's closing another.
No, we're not talking about that.
Oh man! Oh god, we can't talk about that.
This is gonna time this, but right now the Phillies and the Astros are playing, and everyone's mad that like all of these Philly people are like, that should have been a ball or strike, blah blah, bad ump, and I'm just like, it makes me so happy when people from Philadelphia are mad because that town sucks shit.
Fuck Philly.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you, Ian.
We've got an email. We actually have a couple emails. I'm going to put these together.
You didn't say thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
You will read every email. You will read every email by itself.
No. Well, yeah, but I think these work together because it feels like one was to tag up on the other one. So it's like I'll read them all in order because they were all sent like together. So I think you just.
Oh no! Wait a second.
Have to tag something into it. Mm-hmm.
Oh no! It's actually that the umpire is calling it incorrectly for the Phillies, and everyone's mad at that. Okay, so this game's rigged. Fuck the Phillies. Go ahead.
Here's the thing that sucks. Philly sucks, and I don't want them to win, and I fucking do not like the Astros because they're dirty cheaters. So, no one wins.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I lie, cheat, I steal. Eddie Guerrero forever.
Oh, no. Okay. This is a question that I think I'm going to be able to answer pretty well. It says, hey guys, I was wondering if either of you will be picking up Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. I'm hoping the gameplay is smoothed out and we get all the Pokemon this time. A few of my favorites were missing last time. Also, having replayed Alpha Sapphire in the last month, a step towards Alpha Sapphire. Sapphire.
You said Alpha, and I heard Alpha Protocol in my head. I was like, "Yeah, I want to talk about Alpha Protocol again." Okay.
Yeah. Replayed Alpha Protocol last month. A step towards a more compelling story, like in previous generations, would be great. Interested in hearing your thoughts, and if you decide to pick it up, feel free to give me a shout if you ever need a trade. And then also,
what was that person's name?
This is Kyle, and he goes on to say, in his second email, says, hey guys, I'm coming to the end of my PS Plus subscription, and I wanted your opinion on PS Plus Premium. Have you found it to be worth it? Thanks for the podcast. Keep up the great work and keep them coming. Kind regards.
You can talk about Pokemon first, and then
yes,
I'll talk
first
about the second
Pokemon. You know what? I think I mentioned this in one of the last episodes, is that this game seems to be addressing some of the issues that I've had for a very, very long time. And it's not that I believe they are going to address those issues in the way that I would like to see them addressed. I just think that they are gut reaction kind of changing things to the landscape of what people have been kind of like complaining about, I guess. I don't know. I feel like they're good changes, but they're not enough. It feels very shallow. It feels very shallow what they're doing. And I could almost say for a fact they're not going to put every Pokemon in. I don't think they're ever going to do that ever again. Because one, it keeps the metagame interesting. That's the only positive I see from it, is that if you cull some Pokemon and have a set list of these 400 or whatever, you're basically saying, hey, for the next 3 years, this is the metagame in the video game tournament series, which admittedly, no one fucking plays the video game competitively. I don't know if this is heartbreaking for anyone to hear, but sorry, no one plays your game competitively.
It's not true. There's like a Pokemon Championships.
There is, and I go to them, and you know how many people show up for the video game? Like
1 million.
Like, no, it's like double digit
popular
numbers.
There was a problem in like the early like 2009, 2010, where the person who won the world championship shit in a hallway and they took his child away. He was like 15. You know about that?
God, I remember that. That was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That was in Hawaii. I do remember a lot of shenanigans. Right. But
are you done talking about Pokemon?
No. I don't think anyone is gonna play it. Like, I might pick it up because of one reason. They're adding 4-player multiplayer to it, and supposedly you can play the whole game, but I have a feeling it's going to be that bullshit 4-player multiplayer what they do in what did they did in like Final Fantasy Explorers and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is what they did. It's where 3 people can join you and your story will progress, but they're not getting anything. They're just here. They're just ghosts that follow you around and do things. If it's not that, I'm interested. But I have a few friends that, like, one of my friends who has never played a Pokemon game is like, I kind of want to play one, and the one that has multiplayer kind of sounds fun since we all play games together anyways. So I was kind of like, hey, if you all pick it up, then maybe we'll pick it up and try it out too. So maybe. I'm a very tentative maybe on the new Pokemon game. But PlayStation Plus, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it.
Shut the fuck up.
It's not.
PlayStation Plus, hey, shut up. Do you have PlayStation Plus Premium?
I don't. I just have like the standard.
This
like
is what we're talking about.
one.
You have opinions on things that you don't have.
Because this is something that you have to pay. Here's the thing: it is too expensive. It doesn't tell you exactly everything that you're going to get in a decent way.
So,
and Game Pass is half the price and way cheaper and a better
fuck Game Pass
bang for your buck.
First of all, PlayStation Plus, just so you can play online, $60 a year. It's great. You get the cloud saves. You need those as a trophy hunter to get around a lot of shitty platinums that like want you to play the game 4 times. I love it. Now, is Essential and Premium there? They have a great selection of games. It's only $60 more a month, so it's $120 for everything. That's $120 a year. It's nothing. That's $12. It's like $10 a month.
Yeah.
That's what Game Pass is. So shut up.
No,
it has
Game
a lot
Pass
of cool games, and they're bringing out old games, and it's so much fun. And you know what? I think it's great. I played Stray. I played IQ, Intelligent Quotient. That's all I've played, and I've had it for months. But I still think it's great, and I think it's worth it. And I think Chris is a butthead. Next, who's this from? This is from Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
Hang on. There are two.
Shutting it down. We're done here.
2 things. There's 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
I already didn't think the original PS Plus was worth the money. It is a. Here's the biggest reason why is because it is a product sold on FOMO. It is solely sold on the missing out of whatever free game they might be giving you.
Oh, their free games don't matter. I pay for it solely to play online and to have the cloud saves.
And here's the other thing. That service of paying to play online should just be free because it's 2022 And these things do not cost money to.
Who's going to pay for servers? You think servers are free? Servers cost
here's
money.
the thing: Sony isn't hosting those servers.
No,
those servers are being hosted by the companies that you are paying their game for. It's the game revenue that pays for those servers. Not
I'm going to get to play
Plus.
Wild Arms.
PlayStation Plus
trophies on it
is literally a middleman that they just said, "Hey, give us $7."
There's so many Assassin's Creed games on there now that I don't have to buy. It's great.
Here's the thing,
And
on
they're going to keep putting out free games. Like
all
Stray was great. It was so good.
There isn't like a PC Plus that you have to pay for to play games online.
You know the other difference? You know why your game
on your phone.
Your precious fucking Game Pass has not made Microsoft a cent, and they're eventually going to cancel it. PlayStation Plus is profitable, and it's going to make them money, so they keep doing it. And Sony wins again. I don't fucking care. I'm not having this discussion with you. Sony rules. Xbox rules.
Thank you for your email, Kyle.
This is my podcast about PlayStation trophies. We're not going to do that.
It's our podcast.
It's our podcast until it's about trophies, and then it's my podcast.
We do have an email.
I want a Sony sponsorship, and if you ruin this for me, I'm going to kick your ass because I know where you live, and you live at...
Leaving this part in.
No, the people will know.
All right. We have an email.
Well, no. Hey, thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. That was a great email.
All right, next email.
Says, "Hey guys, this is I believe."
Hey guys. Oh, hey, that reminds me. He's saying, "Hey guys, the new season of On Cinema at the Cinema started." And it's. Do you ever watch that?
I watch it like through friends. I don't seek it out.
I have a subscription to the High Network at Rules. They're doing it as a morning show, and they're trying to cut all the movie stuff out, and it's really good. And the newest thing is that they just found a lot of deposits of lithium on the High Ranch, and they're going to start mining lithium, and we're going to see where that goes. It's the greatest fucking show of all time.
This is great.
It's been 10 years. The other day it's been the 10-year anniversary since the first episode of On Cinema. It is the number one best thing I discovered because I knew it existed, but I never watched it. And during the first year of quarantine, I watched everything, including the trial and everything. And now it's like my favorite thing of all time. So
I hear about the trial constantly. I need to watch it.
Trial is so fucking good. It's even funnier when you watch that and then you watch that guy from the Wisconsin thing last month.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to defend himself. And it's just like, this is how that would actually go. All right, next email.
All right, I believe this is from a first time,
long time.
It says, "Hey guys, I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Predicated on a Dr. Ryan observation.
Yes.
I've been catching up on my podcast, and I recently heard Ryan comment on Giant Bomb, stating that Jeff Gersman was his favorite part of that show, and that he's listening less now that Jeff isn't there anymore.
I don't listen to the Giant Bomb cast at all anymore, and it used to be the thing that was my most listened to podcast. I've moved on to, if you're looking for video game podcasts, you should listen to this one, of course, and then the Mega 64 podcast, and then I listen to a lot of Fire Escape, which is Dan Reichert's new podcast, because he's not really, even though he works at Giant Bomb now, he's barely ever on that one.
Right.
And I've been listening to Min-Max, which is Ben Hansen and Kitsy Lewin's on that. The Insert Coin podcast that Tim Rogers does. And also I really like, this has nothing to do with video games, but Face Jam with, that's Eric's podcast. I think that's funny. Good too.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the Bombcast since he left. Granted, I wasn't always I wasn't the most dedicated listener to it.
I was a dedicated listener to the Giant Bombcast from the hotspot, like literally the Giant Bombcast. The only podcast I've been listening to longer than the Giant Bombcast is the Mega 64 podcast.
Damn.
But even then, so to me, listen, the people that are at Giant Bomb now, I like, and I still watch some of their videos, but like it's just one less podcast I have to listen to. But and the new one is the Jeff Gersman podcast, which is his new podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the question?
It says, I also listened to the Bombcast and was surprised to hear this from Ryan, because I tend to agree with a lot of Ryan's takes on games, but tend to disagree with almost everything Jeff Gersman has to say.
That's fair.
It would get to the point that I was very close to not listening to the Bombcast anymore. My question for both of you is, has there ever been a pop culture critic, games, movies, TVs, comics, etc., whose opinion you generally agree with, that was unexpectedly and vastly different from your own, on one thing or another.
I mean, Jeff Gerstmann has hated games that I love, but I also, like I said, I've been listening to that fucker since I was like, I mean, what, like in my late teens, early 20s, before the Bombcast, when he was on the Hotspot on GameSpot. Right. So like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I like him because I like his humor and I like his point of view on a lot of things. Some games I don't agree with him on, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop listening to him.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the thing, is I think a lot of what today's conversations are around are people that are having a conversation around people who want to have the same conversation, and it's kind of just feeding the same information into each other, and no one's really looking at anything from any other perspective or any other
I think what it comes down to is this, especially with video game podcasts.
Right.
Find a reviewer who you trust, but also that shouldn't be your end all be all. Most of the time when I'm listening to a video game podcast, it's because I like the people on it. I like Fire Escape because I like Dan Reichert, I like Mary Kish, and I like Mike Mahardy. I listen to the Jeff Gerstmann show because I like Jeff Gerstmann. I like some of the people on Giant Bomb, but I just don't kind of care about what they're saying, because a lot of the reason I listened to Giant Bomb wasn't for video games. It was for, I really need to start listening to Nextlander, which is Brad, Vinny, and Alex, because I hear they do a lot of off-the-wall shit. But all of my favorite shit from Giant Bomb wasn't them talking about video games. It was them talking about, like, Jeff talking about being a fucking hoodlum living in, you know, these properties where people just have parties. It was the random just fucking questions and shit would go up. I miss Ryan Davis so much because he would just talk about random fucking bullshit. Like, find a video game podcast you like because you like listening to them talk, and then when they talk about video games, if you're interested, listen to it, and if you're like, I don't care about this game, just skip past it.
Or listen to it and be challenged by it. Like, there's never a bad reason for that. Like, I would say, like, it's if it's a video game you don't care about, then who cares? Oh yeah, totally. Like, if you're totally checked out, then yeah,
like,
I love
doing that. But Jeff Gerstmann, but he loves Call of Duty and I don't. So whenever he talks about Call of Duty, he's like, I don't know, listen to this.
Right. See, I really like reading game reviewers. Like, I love reading a text review, you know? And more often than not, I think the way that I
would also say that doesn't apply to me because I don't give a shit about reviews. I'll do whatever I want whenever I want. And if it's bad, sometimes, like, especially when it comes to movies, people are like, this movie sucks. It's like, great, that makes me want to see it more. I still haven't seen Halloween Ends. I might go see that tonight.
Ooh, you should. It's bad, but I mean, you should see the end of it, right?
I don't tell me anything. I know nothing about it.
I won't say anything. Halloween Dies Tonight, or what is it? Evil Dies Tonight.
That was the last movie.
That's for anyone that watched the stream on Monday. No, here's the thing. When I read a review or something, I don't necessarily gravitate towards like one in particular review, especially after, God, it was when everyone started leaving the GameSpot, the mass exodus that
after
when
Daniel Dwyer
Jeff got fired.
No,
the second one, yeah,
the second exodus,
yeah. When that started, because I
shouts out no clip.
Yeah, shouts out. Like, I was a huge Daniel Dwyer fan, and when he left, I was just kind of like, oh, I still am. But like, whenever he left, I felt like a lot of journalism was dying at GameSpot. But I still love to read reviews from them and others. I would say Kotaku is definitely one that I love going through their reviews because they're all terrible. Kotaku sucks as a website, but I like,
except for Australian Kotaku, because my friend Ruby works for them, and she gets to write dumb articles about like 10 little freaks I love in video games and shit like that, and it's great.
But here's the thing is that I love reading.
Shouts out Ruby, you're not listening to this, but I think you're great, Ruby.
Simply because I want to see the part where it breaks somebody, or where I want to be challenged by whatever review that I'm reading, because especially if it's a game that I like I love reading when Final Fantasy reviews come out, because I want to see where people had like problems, and I want to see like what their perspective is on it or whatever. I know when Sonic comes out, I'm so ready to read 100 bad reviews, just because I know that I will probably get something more out of that game than other people. But
I also think
I want to be challenged. I want to see your opinion on it, or whoever's writing it. So I don't know. I guess with people that I don't necessarily agree with. I say I search that out more than I
see. But the
go
thing
with
is,
people that I just agree with.
maybe it's not that way now. But I remember a couple years ago, it was like insufferable reading shit from like Polygon or Kotaku and everything because every fucking review wouldn't be about the video game. It would be about some fucking socio-political attitude that they want to like push in video games, and it's just like I just want video games. Like video games can be inherently very political and they can talk about agendas, and that's great. It's a great medium. When you're going out of your way to make a game that doesn't have anything to do with that, right. I don't care. And I feel like Kotaku and Polygon were the two biggest offenders of that.
Oh, totally. And they still are. I mean, they're not, hasn't changed. It's just a new set of writers in each of them.
You should just, if you find somebody that you think is funny outside of video games and then find out if you like their views. I think it was a great thing. I was on a Giant Bombcast where it was either Ryan Davis or Jeff Gerstmann or Brad Shoemaker who said, like, you should listen to us if you trust us. And if you ever feel like your trust is broken, you should stop listening to us.
Ooh,
so find someone who you trust and you think is telling you their honest truth and follow them. So like, I fully believe that all of those people that I just said, even though they all work in different companies now, when they review a game, they're telling the truth. If I don't agree with it, that's fine. I don't give a shit. I still will like them, even if I don't like their takes on some things. Case in point, Dan Reichert is one of my favorite people in all of video games. I watch his stream all the time. I've had conversations with him. He's great. And then sometimes he'll say, this types of games suck shit. And I'm like, you're fucking high. I don't know what you're talking about, but it doesn't matter. I still like him. Yes. And I don't care that, he doesn't like this type of, like, he has shit on Persona so much. And I'm just like, oh, it's the best game of all time.
Right. Yeah. I'd say I'm all into that. Like definitely, find people you trust, but then also don't be afraid to look at other things because
trust us and listen to us the most. Exactly. Make us the best podcast. I want to be the best podcast.
I think just like news media, you're never going to get the story from one source. Always source several different things whenever you're trying to come to your
Here's why you can trust us. We're not making any money off this. We're just doing this for fun.
Yeah. This is passion.
Who was this email from?
This was from Sev7. Sev7R.
Thank you, Sev7R.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it says, actually, before we finish, P.S., any chance you guys would ever cover Warframe? I know it's not exactly trophy-friendly, but it's got an interesting, convoluted lore development.
My friend Connor has gotten sucked into that game over the last few years, and that game does not look like my cup of tea at all.
And in my opinion, most ethical free-to-play model around. I'm always surprised by the lack of coverage it seems to get from the wider gaming media. Thanks for taking my question. Love the show. Hey, excellent email. Thank you so much. Yeah, we probably don't see Warframe happen.
Step7R.
Hey, you know what?
There's no fucking chance. No, absolutely right now. I'm telling you right now. Veto forever. We're never doing a Warframe episode.
Okay, we may never do a Warframe episode. But
you can play it all you want.
I might play it and talk on the show because here's the thing. Yeah. I have a plan for a 24-hour stream where chat is going to decide what video game I play for that full 24 hours. But the catch is, it has to be an MMO that I have not played or have not put a decent amount of time in. There were like 4 games that pop up on that list. It's, of course, some silly like RuneScape and Wizard 101, the classic old ones. Like we could do that, but the other ones that pop up on there are Elder Scrolls and Warframe. So
tell you what. So there you go, Sub7R.
Yeah,
maybe one day we'll talk about. Maybe one day they will talk about Warframe. I fucking never will.
Yeah. So, but hey, thank you so much for the question.
That game doesn't even have a fucking platinum. It's just a bunch of expansions with no plat. So fuck that. All right. Thank you, Sub7R.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you
next
for the
email.
Our next one, which will be our last, comes from our good friend. And you know what time it is. It's time for some Tylon talk.
Tylon talk. Take it easy.
All right,
Tylon talk. It's time. Tylon, are you ready? Hey, Doc and Chris. I very much you know what? Take two on this. We're just reset, Hey, Doc and Chris. I very much enjoyed.
Did you play the theme song again?
I should. Maybe.
All right, go ahead and play it again. All right.
Cylon Talk. Dickies.
Tylon talk. You guys
All
ready
right.
to talk about Tylon? Well, we're
Do
not
it.
talking
Go.
about Tylon. We're talking
Just
with
fucking read the email.
Very much enjoyed the Control episode of I Have More Trophies Than You. In that episode, Doc asked me what I got at the Portland Game Expo.
Yeah, because
Portland Retro Game Show.
I forgot exactly what you got.
Yeah, and how much I spent on everything. After checking my
Yeah.
credit card statements, I spent about $455,
Fuck yeah.
which is past my comfort zone. But I admit I do enjoy the things that I got, which are Soul Calibur 2 on GameCube, excellent choice. The Zelda.
That's the best version because Link is cooler than Heihachi and Spawn.
No, Heihachi fucking rolls.
No, Link's got that fucking sword and shield, and he's got like a bomb and a boomerang. It's way better. Heihachi doesn't even have a weapon. He just fights with his fist. It's terrible.
He's got cool like wing hair.
Are you talking about Heihachi as a character or Heihachi in Soul Calibur 2? Because that's what I'm saying, that Link is the best playable out of the three. Also, Link is cooler than Heihachi. Go ahead.
Okay, he also, I don't know. I like the PS2 version a lot. Zelda / Impa plus horse figure. This is the Ocarina of Time figure.
Oh, yeah.
Which was cool.
There was these figures that he had that didn't know there were more of.
Yeah, so you got another one of it. And
What
now
else?
he's missing like Ganondorf. Majora's Mask, the N64 game.
Yes.
Cartridge only. An N64 controller.
Oh,
Beautiful
okay.
Joe soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Star Wars Shadow of the Empire inbox plus strategy guide.
Yeah, I remember I forced him into that one, yeah.
And then Fallout New Vegas Collector's Edition for
that's
PS3.
Yeah, I'm now looking back, I'm jealous that I didn't get that, but I'm glad that Tylon is like a huge New Vegas fan, so I'm glad he got
Exactly.
it.
I think if anyone got it, it should have been Tylon.
It should have been Tylon, yeah.
So
I wouldn't have appreciated as much as he would.
he goes on to say, also in the episode, you guys talked about your top 5 Zeldas and worst 3 Zeldas.
Yeah.
And I had one of my own because Zelda is the greatest series ever. His top 5 go from 1st to 5th. Ocarina of
He
Time,
says
Majora's
anything I
Mask.
don't if he says anything bad, I'm cutting this off. Go ahead.
Ocarina of Time is number 1. Majora's Mask number 2. Breath of the Wild number
Terrible.
3.
Turn this
Twilight
off.
Princess number 4.
That's a good one.
Link Between Worlds number 5.
Okay, that's fine. There's 2 shitty games in your top 5, but that's fine.
Top 3 worst.
Yeah.
What? Whoa! Hold up.
What?
I might
What?
be cutting this fucking off.
What did he say? What did
Top
he say?
3 worst Zeldas.
Yeah,
Skyward Sword number 1. Acceptable.
of course.
Totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
A Link to the Past.
What the fuck?
Get
All
the
right,
fuck out of here.
Tylon talk is over
Yeah,
forever.
we're done. We're done with Tylon.
What's the third one? What's the third one?
This is another one that I highly disagree with.
What is it?
The Adventure of Link.
Oh, that's a terrible one.
No, fucking, it's
That
totally
game sucks.
fine.
How the fuck are you calling Link to the Past
Because
one of the worst?
it paved the future
Shut up.
of
Nobody likes
RPGs and equipment
Shut up,
systems
Chris,
and everything else that we
Chris,
take for
you're-
granted
you
today.
like everything. You only like things that are bad. You like the terrible things, so you can be like, well, I like the bad thing.
Yeah.
Nobody
somebody's
likes
gonna
Adventure
like
of
it.
Link. Everybody fucking hates it.
You know,
All right.
everyone out there being like, hey, I don't mind they
Tylon-
cut 400 Pokemon from the game. No one likes Weedle. And I'm like, fuck you, Weedle's one of the best Pokemon ever. It's
Weedle
so
sucks shit.
Shut
Nobody
up.
cares. If it's not
No.
Pikachu, who gives a shit? What is there anything else to this terrible Tylon
Yes, keep up the great work, and I can't wait to hear the next one. Tylon, P.S.
talk? I can't fucking wait to never hear from Tylon again. What's
When
up?
it comes to your retrospective favorite game series, when it comes to your respective, yeah, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Your respective favorite game series, what was the game that hooked you in and made you a fan?
I mean, my favorite game series is, I would say, either Mario or as much as I love Persona 4 and 5,
Mhm.
I really do think a lot of my love for Persona 4 and 5 came in from watching the Persona 4 endurance run on Giant Bomb, because a lot of that game I relate to that. And the Persona 5, I just really like because it's a good game. But my favorite actual series is either Mario or Zelda.
Mhm.
And both of those, I would say, they're both the NES games because I grew up with them. So it's either The Legend of Zelda
Right.
or it's Mario Party or Super Mario 2.
I think I can knock this out so fast. Check this
Is
out.
it Sonic 2?
Well, no. Here's the thing, right? Final Fantasy, it's the story. It's story and characters. That's what hooked me.
That's not
always.
the question. The question was which game?
Favorite game series.
Huh?
Respective favorite game series. I feel like this
Wait,
Oh, what was the
breaking
game?
up.
Okay,
hold on. You're breaking up hard.
I am.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go. Okay. Now he said what game in the series hooked you into the series. So what
is
game
my
in Final
favorite
Fantasy
game series? I mean, Final Fantasy 9, and honestly,
you're saying you weren't hooked into Final Fantasy until the 9th one?
The 9th one's what sold me.
The question is not what is your favorite in the series. It's what.
That's the thing. Is like.
That's not the question, though.
But here's the thing:
you can't just ask your own. You just can't ask yourself your own question. You have to answer his question. His question is.
I know. Here I'm trying to work out a thought real quick. And you're causing me to stop that. Okay, look.
I like doing that.
I don't know what my favorite game.
I like to make you not be able to pay attention. It's great.
Well, no, that's terrible because I already have a hard time with that. I don't know what my favorite game series is because I think like all of them are good. And they're all incredibly flawed. And if it were like the game that caught me like into it, it's like, yeah, it's same thing as like anyone. It's like Final Fantasy.
The question is
like, I remember that's my earliest memory, period. Like my earliest memory is it was a Christmas and I'm sitting on my dad's lap and they had just gotten the NES and they were playing. My dad and his brother, my uncle, are playing golf on it, and they're also playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's what hooked me. It was just like, wow, this is a thing. But like, I don't know. I mean, if it were like Sonic, it's like the characters hook me. Like, I don't know. It's something I've played since birth. Like, there isn't anything that like if you're asking some like Jet Set Radio, why do I love that series? It's because it's the game that taught me about music and style. That's
not the question though. Let me rephrase it. Maybe this will make more sense to you.
Right.
Think about your favorite game series.
Yeah.
And think about the game. You can like the first one, but what's the game where you
told me like, hey, I'm a fan forever now?
Or like what's the game in the series where you went, okay, this makes me, I'll play every game that's got this title from now on.
I don't know, because I really don't, I mean...
Because redoing that, the Zelda that hooked me would definitely be Link to the Past, and the Mario that hooked me the best would definitely be World.
Because for me, it's like, sure, Sonic, but it's, I've been playing with that before I could even formulate memories. Like... But that's the thing
so that's the thing. So what's the one that
like other than indoctrination or like
which is the one that hooked you and said I'll play every Sonic game from now on. I'm a Sonic fan for life. Is it 2? Is it 1? Is it CD? Is it what is it?
I don't know. Probably Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay, that's acceptable.
But that's the thing is like those came out after Final Fantasy 9. You were giving me a hard time on 9.
Yeah, because like you. Because 9 wasn't the first one you played.
No, it wasn't the first one I played, but it was the one that, like, because here's the thing: is like, there's definitely Sonic games that I haven't played, but I've played damn near every Final Fantasy game that's come out.
Then sure, then 9. Then you can say 9.
And it's like, here's the thing: is like, it's an amazing story with an amazing cast of characters. And the thing is with Final Fantasy games, that's what I'm hoping to get every time I go in. And granted, there's been a lot of misses here and there, but like. I will give a good shake at every Final Fantasy. I'll give a shake at every Sonic. Pokemon would have been those games. The thing is like I've fallen off of those so hard that it's like I don't think they're worth playing anymore. So it's like I can't. Could I call that my favorite? You know, like it's tough.
You absolutely still couldn't call it your favorite
video games. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know. I couldn't. I don't think I could call Pokemon.
This episode should have ended 45 minutes ago.
We could still talk God of War. We could go 4 hours.
So there's this dude named Kratos. No, we're saving this. All right, this is the fucking end of the episode. Next episode is going to be God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, and maybe talk about the old ones. Is there anything else you want to say before we end this? Do you have any final thoughts?
No. Here's a final thought for Thailand. Thailand said he's almost done with the platinum for Vegas.
Oh, get it.
Yeah, get it, dude.
You got homework. You got to get it by the end of the year. Wait, hold on. This is an ultimatum.
Okay.
Thailand must platinum Fallout New Vegas by the end of the year, or there will be no Thailand talks in 2023.
That's fair.
Also, you have to apologize for calling Link to the Past one of the worst Zeldas.
Yeah, you really should apologize for that. That is one of the best games that's ever been made, period.
Hey, I would like how much emails we got.
Yeah, I love that. That was huge.
Send more emails. I loved emails.
Keep them
emails
coming.
are great. And emails don't have to be about video games. You can ask us dumb questions too.
Hey, you asked for final thoughts. Here's my final thought.
Uh-huh.
Always challenge yourself. Even if it's something you like, always seek a different opinion on it.
What is this?
That's my final thought.
Are you quoting something dumb?
This is just me being me. Saying, hey, don't take your opinions for granted.
All right, here's my final thought. Always take the easy way out. Cheat as much as possible. Who cares about anyone else? Look out for number one.
You are standing in a hallway. There's a devil on your shoulder and an angel on your shoulder. I just want you to tell me, and I'm speaking to the viewer right now. Who is who? Write in. Let us know.
I'm the devil.
Oh no. But would you be? Because I'd be on the other shoulder saying, "Hey, you should play Sonic Adventure 2. It's a really good game, and I promise you're gonna love it."
No, you're the good out of the two of us, you are the good person. You just have bad opinions.
That's fair. I'll accept that. I'll go to the grave with that. I'll be happy with that.
This has been a really good episode. We got a couple more till the end of the year.
Oh my God, we are at the end of the year. Isn't that insane?
So excited for Game of the Year, and we're gonna have a full year of shit to talk about.
Oh,
I can't. Shit. That's gonna be a long episode.
10-hour episode. I hope you guys are ready. Get your
buckle the fucking
pants on.
I got new categories. I got new rules. We're gonna have better tiebreakers. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be great. And until then, thank you so much for listening. This has been another great episode. And even though we didn't talk about God of War, we talked about some other games that I platinumed because I have to get those fucking trophies so that I can always tell Chris one important fact that they will never be able to dispute. No matter how much they try to talk about shitty games are good, like the Adventures of Link.
Forces. Here's what happened. Sonic is dead.
At the end of the day, I have more trophies than you. How long is that fucking episode?
2:30.
Damn, and we didn't even talk about God of War.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you'd like to send us questions, gaming memories, comments, or if you just want to know when the next episode's going to drop, then you can follow us on Twitter at moretrophiespod. That's MORETROPHIESPOD. That's More Trophies Pod. Also, you can email us at ihavemoretrophiesthanyou@gmail.com. It's just the name of the show, all one word, at gmail.com. Also, be sure to follow Ryan at Dr._Ryan on Twitter. You can also keep up to date with his Monday night Twitch streams office hours at twitch.tv/Dr._Ryan. That's Dr._RYAN. Dr._Ryan on both Twitch and Twitter. And follow Chris on Twitter at Burezu in Japan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, I'm going to spell it out for you right now. That's BUREZUINJAPAN. It's all one word, Burezu in Japan on Twitter. And when they are streaming, you can check them out at twitch.tv/BlazeTK. That's BLAZE, the letter T, the letter K on Twitch. BlazeTK. Thank you again so much, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode. Hey, what are you doing? You're still here. The episode's over. You even sat through the whole spiel. You might have fallen asleep at your desk, or maybe you listened to the whole thing. Got through the part where we ask you to follow our Twitter and check out our Twitches and all that stuff. That's pretty cool. You're an elite class. Better than the others. Rise above the ranks here. You know what, though? Make you a deal here. You go to Twitter, go to @moretrophiespod, and you hit that follow button. Your new follow, I'll send you some words of encouragement. This week only, though, when the new episode drops. Well, what is the encouragement? Make that what you will. That sounds like a threat. What am I doing here? Just, hey, go follow the show, and I'll give you a thumbs up. How about that? Good deal. All right. Thanks for listening to this week's show.